Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. It is February 13th, 2020. It's actually 7 days away from my birthday on February 21st. I'm gonna be 20 years old this year. I'm actually gonna be in my late 30s, 39. Let me turn off my sound on this one. On this other screen. Sometimes it pops up and sometimes it doesn't. 1 second. And welcome anybody coming in chat. So it is Thursday night. It's about 9 p.m. here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've got some really good information tonight. Just some really, really good information tonight. Well, let me wait for some people to get into the chat room and welcome anybody coming in. Hey, Jared, how you doing, man? Jared says, hey, Kyle, you getting through this okay, brother? I'm stressed out. Just not gonna lie about that. Really stressed. Defense is still working pretty well and stuff like that. My attackers are just stressing me out and hurting my body. I've got some good, Jared Ritter says, doing okay. Good, brother. I'm glad, man. I've got some good ideas tonight. Some things. And hey, Wayne, how you doing, brother? Wayne says, Sir Wolverine, live long and prosper, brother. I need to watch some of your more recent videos. I haven't been watching. I've been watching a lot of like inspirational stuff on YouTube, but trying to kind of clear my mind and stuff. Hey, Targeted Maryland. Targeted Maryland 2019 says blessings. Jared Ritter says sorry that you were so stressed. Well, it's kind of a dichotomy, right? Because I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. So I'm pretty set in my faith. Like no matter what happens, like say I got cancer a month from now, God forbid, right? I would know that God has a plan. So I should say that I'm not, you know that saying, too blessed to be stressed. I think that's kind of true, but the problem with targeted individuals and me as a targeted individual is that our organic stress systems get stressed out. So it's like my brain's stressed out, my body's stressed out, but that faith is just, I know there's a God, could never turn my back on that. It's an objective fact for me. So that kind of balances it out. But I do, my organic systems kind of get overloaded, right? To where it's like my attackers run that remote neural manipulation and my brain can't stop. And I can't just like, I remember before the targeting where, well, and even sometimes during the targeting where I'd just be able to kind of like chill out and just stop my mind from thinking, right? And just kind of like focus on what I was doing. And that kind of helps with the targeting. But it's like my attackers have been, mapping my brain for so long that they can just, it's like they can just send a frequency where it's like my brain won't stop. And I'm thinking of all these different things, right? So my organic systems are stressed out while my soul is unwavering and connected to a higher power, to God, in the name of Jesus Christ. So I guess I'm okay. I'm getting through this. I know there are some people probably, well, I think we're all in a lot of pain. So I don't want to say there's a bunch of people doing worse than me. Hey, James Stewart. James Stewart says, hey, Vulcan, where the hell have you been? I've been here. I've been in my condo. I've made a couple of videos, kind of dealing with the targeting, researching, trying to stay healthy and stuff like that. I've been around. I'm okay, guys. Yeah, and I definitely wanted to do a live stream tonight to let you guys know I'm okay. Jared Ritter says, don't worry, the world is an evil place full of lies and God is real. I agree with that. Yeah, and things are getting, Ella Advocate says, Kyle, you savior. Were you just in a ton of pain tonight, Ella? Ella Advocate says, I don't have a phone. Ella Advocate says, I'm using my son's phone. Well, I'm glad I could do a live stream tonight to maybe take y'all's mind off of the things you're going through with the targeting. I've got a lot of really good stuff and it's not too expensive. So I had a hard time picking what I want it to be the title for the live stream tonight. I want to show Lion and the Lamb sent me a bunch of directed energy devices on AmazingOne.com that people can just go and like buy online. And so if you have neighbors that maybe ex-military neighbors who are involved in this stuff, who are supplementing your remote targeting, they might be using some of these devices. I know there's other ones too, but it's really good proof. But before we go into that, there are some defensive things. There's especially one new thing that I found, because for anybody going through the external hits, that can be extremely painful. I use grounding for that. I use the less EMF headgear, but I found something on Amazon, and you can probably find it other places too, that I think will work very, very well for the external hits. And then I kind of want it to just go over, just like on every video, just in case some targeted individuals like come into these videos not having seen my older ones. I want it to mention two very important things that I do for the remote neural manipulation, right? For the high pitched sound in the inner ears, in the head, and also, well, yeah, it does affect the V2K2, but the emotional stuff, the pain to the nervous system, and things like that, the remote neural manipulation causes. James here says, was getting bored out here in the forest. Yeah, I'm getting kind of bored too. I'm getting kind of just uptight about having to stay in my condo and use the defenses. And I'm getting I'm getting cabin fever, you know, and I want to get out more. I want to do some stuff even though I'm being targeted, you know, because this, you know, I don't want to say it. Well, you know, I've been kind of black pilled lately in the material world, right? I got my faith. I know there's a God, but things are going so crazy in the world. I just don't see God can turn things around. God can produce miracles. So I want to, and in our own lives, we can have victory even when the world's falling apart, even when people are going crazy and there's tons of disinformation out there and just people misinformation and stuff like that. Hey, Jeff. Jeff says, what's up, my brother? Nothing much, kind of just hanging in there. I thought I'd do a live stream tonight and go over some stuff, you know, some good defensive stuff. Let me show you all that. Jeff O says, my main squeeze Aussie mate, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne says, what's up? What's up? What's up? Robin Hood says, aside from dudes and stalking on the street, have you experienced community mobbing at places like work, school, events, etc.? Have they gone overt and revealed themselves to you? Are you asking me, Robin Hood? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get vehicular stalked everywhere I go. When I walk my dog, I have an older woman and a young lady over here who they'll drive in right when I'm going out. So they time the community stalking. And then when I go out, the vehicular stalking, what's the good word for it? The auto mobbing. I'll have auto mobbing, the DHS fusion centers, and it's DHS fusion centers and InfraGard and community watch systems, right? It's all these little compartmentalized systems that work together to create that gang stalking. And then your microwave stalkers that are remote neural monitoring you, remote neural manipulating you, attacking you, they work with all those. They get information to DHS fusion centers and InfraGard. It dribbles down to community watch programs, right? So in all these things that we're dealing with, like the weapons attacks and then the gang stalking we deal with, you could basically say it's a spider web inside of a pyramid. That's a good way to look at it. You got a top-down structure that's kind of a pyramidal structure, and inside you got a spider web full of these little compartmentalized groups and local businesses, community watch programs, and then just DHS fusion centers like with law enforcement, EMS workers, firemen, you know, and it's pretty complicated. So it's hard to just go, oh, this is how it works. It's all these compartmentalized components working in basically a pyramidal structure, like a spider web inside of a pyramid. And that's that. And the weapons too, like the weapons testing and experimentation and torture is also like kind of a top-down structure, because you got DARPA being the brain of the Pentagon, then you got this NSA, CIA, DOD, and then all the different levels underneath them, and then you've got big contractors like Boeing, Northrop and Grumman, Lockheed Martin. Then you've got subcontractors and security agencies under that. So you can look at all this stuff as a spider web inside of a pyramid. James Stewart says, Ella, they zap your kids. They're hurting a lot of people's children. They're torturing and murdering a lot of people's children. It's very, 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 very horrible. This stuff is just over the top. I know that we're all drowning kind of, but we got to put out some good information and keep going forward. And we use that, the strength that God can give us. And I know there's miracles in the world, and I have a lot of faith in people. If people are fed good things and positive things, they can be the greatest. They can be the greatest, and we can go towards our evolution, our destiny. When people are fed fear and pain and misery, they do stupid things. They make stupid choices. So that's what we're seeing in the world. We're seeing a lot of lies and manipulation from the capstone of the pyramid, and that's Mystery Babylon. You could just say Mystery Babylon. There's a lot of groups in there. It's a spider web inside of a pyramid, right? It's Mystery Babylon. It's really a cult. The Sabbatean Frankists, Zionists, Masons, many other fraternal organizations, but they're all kind of working with the same beliefs of world domination. And it's a complicated issue, right? But it's a good way to look at it of who's doing this is Mystery Babylon, people who want to be God. And then there's lots of different groups, and they're trying to fulfill certain prophecies. And then some of them aren't trying to fulfill prophecies. They just want to bring the world into a technocracy. But all these little groups kind of work to try and manipulate and control the human population. So it gets pretty complicated. I don't want to, have to go through all that tonight, but I'm going to do some more videos on that. And especially like if you go watch Bill Cooper, watch William Cooper's series on Mystery Babylon, if you want to know who's doing this, and he gives you a good general outlook. There are some people looking into like Jewish Zionists and Christian Zionists, in Israel, the leadership of Israel. And I'm not talking about Jews, right? Just like when I'm talking about Masons, I'm not talking about all white people. There's many, many different groups who are involved, within these agencies, these agencies like the DOD, NSA, CIA, the Pentagon, DARPA, and then in other countries, whatever y'all have that's the equivalent of those. And then there's these fraternal organizations of people who work in there to carry out crazy stuff, right? And it's such a vast conspiracy that it's very, very hard to believe. Mischievous M says, Robin Hood, you need to see the McDonald's incident on my guide channel and listen to the audio log of that incident on the channel I'm using now. Cops, employees lied and tried to set me up when Yeah, James Stewart says, I didn't know they directed energy weapons. Yes, they torture, surveil, microwave children, mothers and children, families. Yes, that's happening now to many, many families. And some families don't even know it's happening. They may think their family's sick or it's this or it's that, and they're actually being targeted. A lot of people are pretty confused about this. But then there's like people like Ella Advocate. She knows that she's being targeted. She knows her children are being targeted, and it's to an extent where it's threatens to destroy her family, right? And then and a lot of other target individuals. Yeah, they torturing and murdering children is happening all over the world. Yeah. Such a fun subject. I love coming on. Like I've been getting kind of stressed out, guys, because I'm trying to we do have to get into a positive, like I used to joke about, I still do, right? It's very stressful because this is like a very serious topic, and it's always serious. Let's have some fun though. Let's try and talk about some positive topics, because the point is we have to get into a positive uptick. We have to get into a positive cycle, right? Especially when you're going through very morbidity and pain and darkness and depression and anxiety. The only way to get back is not to look at all those things and be like, oh, I'm going through that, and I don't want to be going through that, and I'm going through this, and this. the way that you have to get out of it is to be positive, is to joke around, is to go towards things that are beautiful in the world, is to have faith in a higher power that it can turn these dark things around, help you. Like let's just take me for instance. You talk about what you know, right? This has been very, very painful for me and my family. My mom and dad have been targeted. I've been targeted. It's not what I want in life, right? But I've been able to help you guys. I've been able to protect. I've been able to do the impossible with some of these defenses, and that's why I'm always talking to you guys about defenses, right? I'm not like, hey, let's just use defenses and not try and stop this stuff. But like since I've been able to reduce some of the suffering, I want to give that to you guys, and that's an honorable thing, right? We can live honorable lives where we relieve people's suffering. When we look at the world right now, because I've been studying a lot of what's going on in the world, which sometimes we have to kind of pull back from, right? We've got to live our individual lives and maybe not look at the hell that's going on in the world. But I forgot what I was saying. My attackers just wiped it from my brain. So I've been dealing with a lot of that. My attackers are doing the remote neural manipulation way. But my point is we've got to be positive, even though it's a very serious subject. The coronavirus going on, many other things that are killing people, toxins and poisons, and our food being messed with, and then the targeting program, torturing, experimenting on people, and then we're being called crazy. It's serious business. I mean, this is serious business. But the point of it for these people, for the pyramid with the spider web inside of it, is to instill fear into people. They instill morbidity. It's these ripple effects that go throughout communities and countries, and people get scared and they do bad things and chaos, and there's shootings and everything like that because of mind control and people getting scared. And then people join up with these DHS fusion centers and do stupider stuff to people who are innocent and being targeted, right? So it goes in this negative cycle because of the fear, because of the unjustified fear, right? It's scary stuff. It's big stuff. It's our world where it's like people who think that we're cattle are controlling our systems, our money system, weapon systems, releasing man-made viruses. I mean, that's totally like, I don't care what the news says. There's a lot of different types of the coronavirus. That was a man-made bioweapon, and there's no way that it just accidentally got released, right? So Jared Rear says Jared Rear says the government is evil and they hate us, so we must be on the right side. God will reward us because we are not the beast system. Yeah, Jared, there's a balance. There's a balance. And that's what I've found. When you're going through these really dark things, right? You can just look at our individual lives as targeted individuals. When we reach for our faith and we believe that God can do something with that evil, there is a balance. There's objective higher powers, guys. I kind of see a ladder of creation. I believe that there's a God above it all, but there's no way I could ever comprehend him in my human mind. And I just see there's like a ladder of creation, and I worship God in the name of Jesus Christ because that's the tradition of my family. So I have faith that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. But I really would like to encourage you guys who maybe just work in the material world and you're like, you see how bad things are. You're gonna need your faith. You're gonna need stuff that you can't understand. That can be explained in science, but a science that we're going to have to evolve for trillions of years to even get to 1% of that science of what God is at the top, right? But there's something, and there's a balance, because there's God wants what's good for humanity. He wants what's good for humanity, and Satan works in this world. I'm just going to use those terms, right? Satan works through this world and doesn't want what's good for humanity. He wants humanity to fail and fall. But God wants what's good for us. So he's against this darkness. And if you're against it too, and you can grab onto that faith, then you can do incredible things and have victory in your life. And I have no doubt about that. I have a lot of doubts about what's going to happen in the world of man. I don't know what the plan is, right? I don't know what the evil is going to accomplish in putting fear into people and everything. and then what God wants to do with that, right? I don't know if it's the end times, or maybe, but I do see that if humanity resists a great evil, it's like Jurassic Park, right? Life finds a way, and these incredible things can happen. It's definitely happened in my life objectively. But this, I mean, we all don't want this, right? We all don't want to be targeted. We want to live our lives, but we've got to do the best with what we're going through. It's very important. It's very important to accept things to a certain level that this happened, and then to move forward with that. Just trying to stop it, right? Trying to stop it, getting defenses and stuff like that, to accept that this has happened in your life. Hey, Jeanette, I hope you're doing well. Jeanette Zette says, hey, everybody. Oh, Ella Advocate says, sorry, I'm back. James worse, they zapped the whole house. Yeah. Preston Martin says, nope, the Antichrist is predetermined to go to hell. Okay. Oh, okay. Preston Martin says, I wish I was one of God's people. I was predetermined to go to hell before I was even born. I never had a chance. No, that's not true, Preston. That's not a correct thought. You need to change that thought, man. Anybody who reaches for God, chosenness isn't in genetics. Chosenness or damnation is not in genetics. I reject that completely. And the God that I know and have connected with, anybody who reaches for him can have salvation. That is incorrect. That is completely 100% what you just wrote right there is very incorrect. It's very, very incorrect. You can be saved. If you reach for God and you have faith and you do what's right, you have salvation. Any genetics, Jew, Gentile, white, black, everybody, if they choose to do what's right, salvation or damnation is not in genetics, and that's not the way it works. Jeff O says, Wayne, I have my face painted. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wayne, I have my face painted. I'm thinking of joining the circus. I'm working on my buffoonery skills. I'm always working on those, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff's trying face paint to maybe try and outsmart the face recognition system. I think it's a good idea. I think we should try anything, and I'm going to try it soon. I'm going to probably try it soon, hopefully. I don't know. I'm trying a bunch of other stuff, so it's hard. I got a lot of stuff on deck, but I want to try it eventually, Candyman, hey, Witness 222 and Candyman. Candyman says, Vulcan, I live in your area and I can tell you that Freemasonry is responsible for most of this harassment. Don't you see that huge building on Florida Boulevard? I've been hit with this for over 30 years. Yeah, Freemasonry is definitely involved, but what I was saying earlier is it's Mystery Babylon. It's a lot of different organizations. It's a lot of different, it's Zionism, it's the leadership of America and Israel, it's Freemasonry, it's many different organizations under the banner, a cult-like banner. So it's not just the Freemasons and it's not just the Zionists. And a lot of Zionists are actually good. A lot of Zionists don't really know what they're putting into is wrong. But it's yeah, I mean, Freemasonry is definitely involved. However, right, not all Freemasons are evil. Some of them think they're doing what's good. They haven't reached a certain level. So there's some Freemasons out there that are just doing good. Some Freemasons participate in this, or a lot of it. The leadership of Freemasonry participates in this stuff, and it gives a bad name to all those good guys. We think they're all bad, right? And that's just like Zionism. There are lots of Jewish Zionists and Christian Zionists that are really doing things in the world to bring about some kind of prophecy, right? To bring about the Moshiach, and that makes some people hate all Jewish people, right? And that's like me saying, well, Masons are involved in this, so I hate all white people. And that's not true. I don't hate myself. I'm white. I don't hate all white people. I hate evil Masons, but then I don't even hate all Masons, because there are some Masons that are clueless, and they think that they think that they're just a community helping agency, right? So it's more complicated than just saying a whole group of people is responsible for anything. It's the spider web inside of a pyramid, you know. Hey, hey, Ty McCulloch says a lot of them have been slowly blinded and calloused over a long period of time. Yeah, I think there are a lot of narcissists in the world. There are lots of people born with social personalities, narcissism, psychopaths. But then what's happening is a lot of psychopaths and narcissists are being created, right? Because that's who succeeds in the world, right? The world's so crazy and it's hard to save the world. So very empathetic people tend to drown. You know, so you know, if you're empathetic, this is my main point. But you know, in the military and in these agencies, a lot of narcissists are being created out of people who may have gone either way, right? Because there's like 20% of people who will only do what's evil or semi-evil, or 15%. Then on the other side, 25% of people who will only do what's right. Then you got in the middle, you got a bunch of people who will they'll just go along with it. So when the system becomes sociopathic, those people in the middle who would have gone either way, they're going to go with evil because that's what's going to help them to succeed. That's what everybody else is doing, right? So the biggest thing is, if you are an empath or empathetic, you need to find a balance. You can't go evil. I mean, like I haven't tried that, right? But I see how psychopaths and sociopaths and people who just care about themselves, they do succeed in this world. They can get a lot of followers and stuff like that and not really care. They can just kind of just talk the talk or whatever. But if you're an empath, you've got to find a balance to take care of yourself and your family and help other people and do it in the right way. And count on God to see you through that, right? To see you through that, because it's becoming very hard in this world. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer Burns says, hi, everybody. Yeah, Jennifer Burns says, I can't believe this is still happening. Yeah, I can't either. And it's very tough because YouTube's policies are videos get censored that are talking about war or human beings being hurt or killed. And that's what our issue is, right? It's this targeting program that's happening in the world, and YouTube shadow bans and just straight up censors videos that talk about this. So even the most successful targeted individual, you know, channels, they're still censored a lot. You know, like Mola, Ella, Michael Barden, a bunch of other ones, right? Even me, like I don't have as big of a channel as them. Yeah, that's great, Mischievous Sim. Mischievous Sim says, darker by the day, but I refuse to give up hope. It's a balance, guys. Things in the world and people are getting crazier because they're scared. It's not their fault. You know, and then the evil people are kind of feeding on all of it. But as the individual dealing with all this, if we get through it, we use our faith and also practical things, right? I think that that's a big part of faith. That's a big part of God working through this world to help you. Because if you're like, you know, just myself, for instance, like if I'm just really anxious because the remote neural manipulation, I'm not using Dave Casey or something, it's a lot harder to commune with God. It's a lot harder to have yourself opened up to these benevolent force at the top, right? That works through its own pyramidal spiderweb, right? I just thought of that, that for good, there is a pyramidal spiderweb. For good, God at the top of it has created this complicated pyramidal spiderweb that we don't even have to understand. We just have to be a part of it. And miracles can happen for your children. Miracles can happen for your family, your mom and your dad. Miracles can happen for you, right? Now, it's something I'm still working on it. You know, I'm not perfect and I'm kind of struggling right now, but we work on it. Miracles can happen, guys, through practical things too, though. Don't forget about those practical things that God's going to put in your way. I'm a big proponent of that. Jared says, if we represent Christ, we will be hated like Christ, and that means we get to heaven. Yeah, I really agree with that. Mischievous Sim says, use TrueTube. You can link vids from there to YouTube to help give out the info they're trying to cover up. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and use like TrueTube and what's the other one? I can't think of it right now. What's the other one, guys? What's that other one everybody's going to? It's this. It's BitChute. BitChute's good. Um, Puff and Stuff said that. James, Puff and Stuff said that. I've talked to Puff and Stuff. I don't know. I think a lot of people probably think I'm an agent. I mean, you can just go back and watch my first videos. I've kind of dealt with that a lot. I'll tell you guys, I didn't really want to do this. I kind of want to change a little bit and kind of just get to the information. But on my last video, like I was doing it, I didn't have a live stream. And it was just going through that information on the coronavirus and James Giordano speaking out on it and how he's done presentations on this kind of socio-political and economic control, releasing something like this, and then other angles happening too. And at the end of the video, I was doing this with my little cursor thing, and then my timer popped out and it had like 33 in it. And I didn't notice it till I watched it on playback, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have to like go and edit that because people are gonna think that that was like on purpose or I'm some kind of Mason or something like that. And then you know what I said? I said, screw that. I'm not gonna live that way. You know, whoever thinks that I'm fake is gonna think that I'm fake. I don't blame those people because I even have a hard time trusting some people because there are. I mean, but Brian too is right in his premise. And a bunch of other people say this, right? There are COINTELPRO, there's agent provocateurs, there's surveillance role players, there's many task force set up to come into this group and to put out some good information, but then put out a lot of confusing information and stuff like that. That exists. Even some people have been sent my way. You know, I think we all deal with that, right? We all deal with that. But you know, the thing that I do disagree on, it's not 80 to 90%. I think it's like 10% or 5% or something like that. Strategically placed, right? Think about our gang stalking, right? Not every car out there is a one light car. Not everybody who I see is a gang stalker. We can look at COINTELPRO and stuff like that. The problem is that it works like our gang stalking, where we start seeing gang stalking everywhere. We start seeing something pop up. Like I was watching, just me is her channel. Just me. I'd like to promote her channel. I don't know if she wants that because she may have it at a kind of level that she's comfortable with, but she's a targeted individual for sure. And she had this owl, like a car freshener, and people were giving her crap for it, saying she was some kind of Mason or something. And it was just a car freshener. She liked owls. That stuff's going to happen. What you got to do is you got to look for patterns. If you see patterns, then somebody's an agent or whatever. And it gets so stupid, man. And I'm very angry about the whole. It really does exist, right? There really are people in all truth communities trying to cause trouble. Usually they'll be calling a bunch of people perps and stuff like that. Or they'll be, you know, there's different reasons they're up in here. I was going to say somebody specifically that I've been looking at recently. He's in another community, and I'm pretty sure that he has connections to Mossad and task force from the FBI, COINTELPRO. But I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to get wrapped up in that. What was I going to say? Look for patterns. Don't look for one-offs, right? And Just Me. I think her channel's called Just Me. Great videos. She has a lot of wisdom. She's getting through this. I know she's in pain and stuff like that, but I really like her vids. You know, it's just her talking and stuff like that. But they were giving her crap because she had an owl, a car freshener, and that happens to me a lot. You know, a lot more than y'all would think. Something will happen on my video, or I'll, you know, scratch my nose or something like that, and then somebody's got a problem with me. It's just going to happen. This is crazy. Like, this is craziness, and people don't know who to trust. And I was going to say, I'm very angry about that realistic COINTELPRO, because I'm a real targeted individual that has busted my butt and ripped myself apart to put out good information. And I know that some targeted individuals, because they're confused and because I maybe have 2,000, I have what, almost 3,000 subscribers over 6 years. Think about it, guys. It's not that good. 3,000 subscribers in over 6 years is kind of not that great. It's good. No, it's good. And I appreciate my subscribers. Don't get me wrong. It's just not a huge, if I was an agent, I would have like 60,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. I wouldn't be using these defenses. I don't think agents that are fake TIs would do all this stuff. They would just be like, I beat it with the power. Well, there's some people who are using their faith. I don't want to do that, but they would just, they wouldn't be, you can tell, you can see a pattern, right? And even then it gets murky. It's a tar baby. You know, it's something that didn't even want to talk about, but apparently my nature is the things that before I make a video, I say, okay, I'm just going to stay on task. I end up talking about exactly those things. So I guess I'm just going to have to get used to that. I'm trying to balance myself out. I was seeing something today, guys, especially y'all with remote neural manipulation, where they're messing with your emotions, they're messing with your mind and stuff like that. I saw something that said the mind can be it can be oh man, it's a great quote. The mind can be a horrible master or an excellent slave. Now, I'm not talking about our minds being enslaved by our microwave tortures, by our remote neural manipulation. I'm talking about yourself. You can either use your mind as a tool for your heart and your soul and what you want to do, or you can let your mind drag you around by a rope or a chain, and it'll be your master. It'll be an awful, awful tyrant. Now, for us, it carries a different meaning, right? Because our mind's being manipulated. But I think it's even more important for us. I think it's even more important for us that we use our mind as a tool, and we make sure we use it to strengthen and do the things that we want to do, and not let it lead us around on by the nose, right? Yeah, Jeffo says, don't give up, James. It's tough sometimes. It's really tough sometimes. Sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes you gotta find ways that you can let off steam and relax. I know it's hard because we're all like being tortured so severely. Your faith, guys, like your faith. You got some of you guys that are more practical, and that's why I think a lot of Christians may get kind of mad at me because like I talk about faith in a certain way. I do follow the traditions of my family, like Jesus Christ is the Son of God. But I try and talk about it because I want those people who are kind of seeing that the dogmatic Christianity is something that chases them away. I want them to get on the path. I want God to start bringing them down a path. It's so important. It's the most important thing, guys, to believe in something greater, and it's objective. It's not just like for humanity. It's not just like, well, when humans believe in something greater, things get easier because that's just science. But there's really nothing. No. It's an objective fact that there's like a ladder of good creation. At the top of it, the all-knowing, all-powerful God. What does he look like? What is that? Nobody could ever imagine. And we can read the Bible for inspiration to guide us and things like that. But what God is that created all these different layers, our universe, outside of our universe. I didn't want to go into all this because I know that sometimes maybe some Christians get upset and they're like, well, the Bible says exactly what it is, and I know what it is. And I understand that. And we've all got to worship God in the way that we think is right. There's a lot of different perceptions in the world. Even in the Christian community, there's a lot of different ways that we say things and words and things like that. Man, I always do this. I've got to find some way to, I always like the things that I wanted to just do the information. I came on here and I just instantly into the stuff that I didn't want to talk about. Not because but I think it's helpful stuff, right? It's just like, I kind of wanted to save that stuff, because I'm going through my mind and my faith and thinking about things, and I want it to be more baked, more cooked. That's a bad way to say it because our brains are being cooked by microwaves. I want it to be more form, right? I'm going through some things. I'm going through some things, and I kind of wanted to stay on the concrete information. But that's one thing that saved my butt time and time again, my faith. My dad, my mom too, but my dad, like, and my grandpa is just something that we got to have faith in God. We got to have faith in God. Yeah, Jeff O says, James, you are blessed to have your family. Take it slow, brother. Sometimes, guys, sometimes, and this is a quote from a cheesy TV show. Sometimes you got to slow down to get where you're going. You know, if you're always going fast, you're going too fast. You're not thinking. Sometimes you do have to slow down to get where you want to get. It was actually in The Flash. Yeah, Jeff Stewart said, James here says, will do, Jeffo. The force doesn't lie to me either. Yeah, nature doesn't lie. Yeah, nature's it's balanced, homeostasis, right? I think that's a big problem with human beings. We can lose our homeostasis very easily, and our system has lost homeostasis very easily. But even in the most extreme, unbalancing circumstances, if we use our faith and we go towards life affirming things, we can balance ourselves out, even in these extremes, where you think you're about to die the next day, you're about to lose your mind. It's possible. Yeah, it's a road that you have to travel. It's not just one day where it snaps into place, right? It's an evolution, it's a process, and you're going to need God in it. You're going to need that good higher power that comes down in a good pyramidal spider web. All right, there's an evil pyramidal spider web too. Odin says any reasonable person can be pushed to do unreasonable things. So Americans are paid to gang stalk target individuals, creating triggered shootings. Yes, I totally agree, Odin. Odin says create a need engineering. Yeah. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye says that's why you're in the program. Yeah, man, I sure will. Jared Rear says, Kyle, can you make me a mod? I've never been one before and I want to see what it's like. I love your channel, so I want to help. Yeah, I definitely will. I do have to say, guys, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and tell you all this because I'm just talking right now. I don't know where I'm headed. I want to still do YouTube, but I do need I need a break. Like I need a break where I'm thinking I need to rethink things. I want to get the information out. I love doing these things. I know you guys love the live streams. It gives y'all a place to chat. We talk about stuff. It's good, but I'm just thinking of ways that, and also I'm thinking of stuff that's off of YouTube, of things that maybe we can get the word out faster, and also some legal things. I don't want to show my hand too much. But I'll tell y'all when it's in full swing. I'm thinking about maybe doing a month. This is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of doing videos when I'm inspired. So I don't want you guys to be upset if I don't make a video for like a week or something like that. But I wanted to start maybe putting out some mirrored videos, some very important interviews, information, so that y'all don't fall off of my YouTube channel, right? So that y'all are still getting notifications. Because if you don't send people out videos and stuff like that, you know, they'll lose your notifications and they won't see when you're doing new stuff. And then during that process, I want to really focus on doing some good edited material. And I'm still gonna do live streams and stuff like that. But maybe it's not gonna be like boom, boom, boom every week, do 3 or something like that. It may be every once in a while. And I do need like my birthday is coming up February 21st. I need some time to sort things out. Things got very dicey. And when I say that, and I know I've said this on other videos, right? Things are dicey all the time for us target individuals. Y'all get that. We all get that. Things got really dicey for me, where I just thought I'd lose myself. And so I need time to put myself together the right way. I'm a person that really just wants to tell y'all everything. And I've got to kind of watch that with YouTube, and I've got to watch that with my attackers. So I kind of need to figure things out. But definitely, I need to make Cheryl a moderator too. Cheryl says, I can't see Kyle or hear the live stream as usual. Just keep reloading it. Turn off your computer, Cheryl. Somebody tell her to turn off her computer. I don't want to make her mod if she can't see the. Yeah, Tanya, thank you. Tanya says, Kyle, we understand we miss you. I've really been kind of really mulling it over because I love YouTube. I love talking to you guys. I just, you know, I want to get things out there faster, and I want to work on some things that maybe aren't on YouTube because we're getting so held down on YouTube. Like I see that really, really dumb stuff on YouTube gets tons and millions of views, and then really important stuff, they've made policies so that these things can't be successful. You can't talk about war or children being hurt or anything like that, even if it's a war that's going on in your country. So we're almost, we've known this, right? This is something we've all worked on our videos and we've known, but I want to try and swing out, still doing a YouTube channel, and maybe work on some edited content that can get past the censorship, right? That can get out there to more people. True Stream Media does it really well. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything that well, at least at first, but I want to take a crack at it. I want to kind of reconfigure things, and I got to figure that out. I usually get on these live streams and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. This is what I've been thinking of, and I kind of don't want to do that for a while. I want to see what happens if I take these. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't make some videos, because I just can't. Sometimes I get inspired. I want to get in here and talk to you guys. But it's a thing. It's a thing with me. I'm very conflicted right now. I don't want to be conflicted. Even with this targeting, it's always hard. I don't want to be conflicted every time I make a video. Do I really want to make a video right now? Is this going to help? People thinking them, it's a thing where I'll bottom line it, right? Because that's what I need to do. God is putting in my heart, and has been for a while, saying, you got to take a break. You need to take a break. I need to talk to you. I need to commune with you. And I've been ignoring it, and I'm saying, well, God, you want me to do this. You want me to help people, right? Look, we're in the fight of our lives. I've got to keep doing this. And God's like, take a break. I told you to take a break. And so I'm going against that, and things aren't going so well, right? We do some good live streams. I love you guys, but I've got to listen to God. I don't understand it, right? Because I'm like, we got to keep doing this. We got to keep doing this. But he's got something planned that I gotta commune. I gotta commune with Linda, and I gotta commune with him, and I gotta commune with everyone that I've lost, and put myself together. Now, what I was thinking of doing for the month is just finding really good content, and mirroring that first, and giving the original video, making sure I don't like monetize that or anything, but keep y'all in the loop with my channel, and then work on getting some really good editing software, and getting creative with it. Because like I'm a Pisces, I'm artsy, but I haven't been really using that. I've been like looking at a lot of concrete information. So I'm not really sure. I'm probably going to do stuff when I'm inspired, but I just don't want y'all to get disappointed if you don't see me for a week and be worried or something like that. Got some things to work on, and it's been since 2018. It's been since 2018. I've been pushing it. I've been grinding it. And I just thought that's what we were supposed to do, because we're being targeted. I don't see how, I'm like, well, if I take time off, I don't see how I'm going to like heal up or anything like that, because we're targeted. It's not like it's going to get a whole lot better or something like that, for me individually. And I've been kind of using my mind and saying, well, I don't need to stop, but God's putting into my heart, look, you got to take a break. You got it. And I don't know why. But it seems to be that homeostasis thing. I gotta find my homeostasis again, and then I'll come back. But maybe once a week, come in and do a short live stream, or make some shorter videos or something like that. I'm not sure. I've got to see where God wants me to go. And he's just saying, don't worry about YouTube. We've got some other stuff to do. Because I've been really I watch some channels that are very dumb on YouTube, and they get so much play, and I'm just like, this is what everybody's watching, and we're putting out this super important information. We're being called crazy, and our channels are getting shadow banned and censored. This can't be right? And it's really getting to me. And then the whole thing about real COINTELPRO and things like that, that really gets to me. And then it's like I get, good target individuals that want to help people. We kind of get hit from both sides too sometimes, and it just, it's this conflicting thing. Jared says, anyone who thinks that you are an agent is definitely way too paranoid, or they are an agent themselves. Yeah, I understand. I don't take it personally at all. And I'm not like, oh, do I look like an agent? It's the nature of it. And I want to help those people too. Even if, I'm here, I want to tell you guys who support me, y'all are why I'm here. right? I wouldn't be on YouTube if it was like people just always give me a hard time. I'd be gone by now. I'm here for you really intelligent target. I'm here for every target individual. You guys who get me and are on the same kind of page as me, I'm really here because of y'all. Like I stuck around and kept doing this for myself too, right? We want to get this program stopped, but y'all are the anchor, right? Y'all are not that anchor in a bad way, but like y'all are the strength that's kept me going through this. And that's not bull, it's not blowing steam or anything. Y'all are why I kept doing this. Is really, really intelligent TIs. All you guys in chat, all you guys in chat. Hey, Robert Stanton says, God, the devil is one and the same. These drones play into every single thing. They dive in every religion to mimic. Dude, since I shield it so well, each step brought realization and the curtain open. Yeah, I think there's some forces for evil that God controls some way, in some scientific way that I don't understand, some spiritual way that I don't understand, right? God and the devil. The devil is definitely under God. I don't think God is the devil, though. I think there's a benevolent force that wants life to progress, and bad things happen. But when somebody does something in a knowing way to hurt someone, that is a different kind of destruction than that benevolent God at the top uses to create. It's an imbalance. It's something that's not balanced, and it's not really. It's there, so it's there. It does exist, but it's imbalance. And I don't know. God being the same person as the devil. I'm not sure, but I liked everything else you said, Robert. Oh, Andrew Littleton said, "What is a tar baby?" If you read the story of, and this is really good for us, you need to read the story of Briar Rabbit. It was really when I was a kid. I used to Uncle Remus's Briar Rabbit and the Tar Baby. Go read that story, everybody, because as a targeted individual, you need to read that story and you need to understand the metaphor. You need to understand in this process, it's all kind of a tar baby, but you need to pick your battles, because sometimes you start punching a tar baby, like you start going after this person or that person for being an agent, and then you're covered in tar, and then you can't move. You know what I'm saying? So Briar Rabbit and the Tar Baby. Go Uncle Remus's. As a kid, it was like my favorite story. It was my favorite book, Uncle Remus and Briar Rabbit. Hey, strong-minded individual says, "Hey, Wayne, hope you're doing well, bro." Generation. Hey, generation. Generation says, "Come on, the perps are people with weapons." Yeah, with spiritual evil, though. Okay, let's get into it, because Jennifer Burns, I'm feeling you on that one. You said about the same, unfortunately. How are you? I'm, you know, like I know you're saying that to somebody in chat. So let's get to the information that could really help. Let me pull this up. This is something I found. I'm going to go through something Lion and Lamb showed me, but this could be a game changer for some of you guys if you're getting a lot of external hits. It's not that expensive, so let me pull it up here. You know, guys, I don't know. Like, I'm still thinking it over and praying about it, because I really like these videos and live streams. It helps me to get out of myself, you know, like when I'm isolated, in a lot of pain and stuff like that, and just sticking to myself, it doesn't really help. And then these help me to get out of myself. So I'm really praying to God about how he wants me to do this, right? So I might do like a live stream every once in a while. God, it's tough. I just feel like he's telling me to take a break in some way. I don't want to. I've really got to listen to God, though. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it some more. I got some time. I'm thinking I'm gonna pray about it, and then kind of come to a decision around my birthday. And then I may take like a break, but I'm going to be doing some mirrored videos and getting some editing software, and then, you know, and really just kind of cleanse myself out and balance myself out, and then come back. I think I just got to do it. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it because these videos really help me a lot. I know they help you guys. So I just don't like being, you know, the targeting tears us up so much. And then when we're trying to make a decision, I think, you know, God could be telling me to just change my perspective. I don't know. I got to pray about it more, guys. Y'all know I'm pretty torn about most. I'm not torn about doing what's right in the world. I'm not torn about doing what's good and helping people. But the way, I'll get nerdy with you guys because I love y'all. I was watching this, you know, the Captain America. If you guys, I don't know if women will like this. I guess so. Yeah, Captain America. Women, you know, love Chris Evans and Captain America. Women, men, Captain America. He says when from the time he was a little kid, all he wanted to do was what was right. And he says he's not quite sure what that is anymore. In a worldly sense, I'm a little bit confused on where my talents, where my energy, you know, because I got my family that I really need to connect with more. My grandma's getting older. So I'm just like, where do I need to expend my energy that I do have? You know, I'm still being targeted, but when I do have energy, you know, I'm just not quite sure what that is, what the right thing is. So I'm trying to figure that out. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. I think I just need time and prayer, and I'm going to figure it out. It's not necessarily like God's like, hey, you need to quit YouTube or something like that, but he wants something different from me, right? He wants something different from me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. Because I've been doing this a long time, like 6 years. Check this out, guys. Okay, copper fabric blocking RFID and radio frequency, reduce EMF, EMI. I don't know what EMI is. Electromagnetic frequency, electromagnetic something. But check this out. It's a thin copper fabric, 78 inches by 43 inches. That is pretty big. 78 inches is going to be like 2 times your body, I think. It's going to, yes, almost two lengths of your body. So you could like fold it back. So you guys with a lot of external hits, I would look into this, and it's not that expensive, $25.95. Maybe you can get a coupon or something. I'm going to put the link for this. I guess I can put the link. It's not going to bring y'all to my account or anything like that. But check that out. It's a copper fabric, and copper really blocks this stuff. It blocks a lot of the layers, right? Because there's different layers of things. We're dealing with electromagnetic fields, but we all are also dealing with photonic energy, scalar waves, and Lilly waves too. Scalar waves can really go through a lot more things, you know, than just copper. But this will block a lot of the layers and can give us a lot of relief, especially for the external hits. Like my attackers are hitting me right now, right here. This can give a lot of relief for that. So guys, look into it. You can just go on Amazon and put in copper fabric. Just put in copper fabric and look at all those. I thought this would be really good for people that are just getting creamed, like their organs are getting cooked. I do want to add this though. I want to add that there's remote neural manipulation, right? There's things where there's electromagnetic fields, signals being sent through the skull to 2 parts of the brain, but also electromagnetic pulses to the inner ear and the skin and things like that. And that's going to affect, it's going to send signals to your brain. There's a couple of different things that they do, right? That send signals to the brain, receive signals from the brain also, but send signals to the brain where it's going to create pain in your body, certain kind of emotions, affect your autonomic nervous system, image insertion into your visual cortex, you know, that kind of stuff. It can also, and it takes them a long time to do this. Let me just bottom line it so it doesn't get too complicated. They mix the remote neural manipulation and the external hits, right? They're external hits, but sometimes they mix so well that you may think something that is external. Now, I'm not saying you're not getting external hits, but they can mix it in to where it gets kind of confusing. So let me show you this for external hits. If you're certain you're getting external hits, you definitely want to try this. And then I just want to show you all 2 things you already know. But just for anybody new to this channel, the things that really, I would say, like, besides the supplements and the cleansing, and I don't have to go into all those things right now, but the things that I can just think of off the top of my head would be the less EMF head shielding, the lead hat, the less EMF hat, the noise canceling hearing aids, Dave Case's CD, the grounding for external hits and for the remote neural manipulation. So those things are like the primary centerpiece of my defense. The ZVS drivers are also working great. I have them off right now. Let me tell y'all what happened with that, because this is an important thing that our attackers do, and we can maybe learn something from what my attackers did to me. There's a lot of different layers of things they're doing to us. So sometimes I'm like not sure if something's maybe it's working for a while, and then they start using it against me. And so what happened is my attackers like, well, give me this anxiety in my mind, right? They'll just make it go, so I can't stop thinking. And I thought that the ZVS drivers were creating that field, and then my attackers were somehow using that same scalar wave frequency to make something stronger that they were doing to me. So I turned them off, right? And then I instantly felt really relaxed, like my mind got really relaxed. But what had happened, because my attackers today came back again with that same thing, my attackers shut everything down that they were doing to my head when I turned my ZVS drivers off for a while. They got very specific with it and turned it down ever so slightly. So the ZVS drivers do not hurt anything. My attackers are not able to use them for any kind of negative thing, but they were making me think that, right? They were making me think that because my thoughts were going to that. They were remote neural monitoring my thoughts, seeing what I was thinking, and then they set up a protocol to make me think that the ZVS drivers were maybe making the remote neural manipulation stronger, like they were tapping into that field or something like that, which isn't what happened at all. It's not what happened at all. The ZVS drivers work fine. They're not able to really adapt to it. It doesn't knock out all the layers. It weakens a lot of the layers, but it's not bad at all. It's not doing anything negative. So let me go. I'm gonna go to my channel. So I'll go to my chat room. And welcome anybody who's never been to my channel before. Okay, Generation says, I got myself bone conduction headphones. Use this with YouTube electronic harassment jammer. The video with the girl picture. Yeah, the bone conduction headphones also work very well. I just haven't been using them a lot lately because the noise canceling hearing aids, the Britsco noise canceling hearing aids. But yes, and if you use Dave Case's CD or the Schumann resonance or just awesome music that you really like, bone conduction headphones really work well. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can do. I would say the things for remote neural manipulation that are going to work really good are the bone conduction headphones, Dave Case's CD, and the noise canceling hearing aids. They're a little bit expensive, guys. Let me show y'all. Real quick. Hey, Ray. Odin says, I can relate better with a Muslim in Iraq that has had his family and house blown apart. Yeah, it's almost like America is becoming like a third world country, a banana republic, but there's a veneer of civilization on top of it. And a lot of other countries like Australia, New Zealand, and in England, it's like people are being murdered and tortured in their homes with this high technology, right? And then other things, poisons, the coronavirus in China, but it's like they keep the masses, like the mass percentage of the population kind of just going along with their business, right? So they're trying to create these banana republics and tyranny without making the herd. And I don't think of people as cattle, right? But that's how they would think without spooking the herd. Because if they spook the herd, then they're done. If people got together and said no, and watch William Cooper, he says it a lot. If people would just say no in mass, people would say no, know what's going on, they'd be done. They couldn't carry out these programs. They couldn't carry out the evil, right? They have to deceive people and make certain people think that the status quo is still going on, even when people are being murdered right under their noses. I think this coronavirus might do a bit to wake a lot more people up. I don't know. They're trying to sweep it under the rug as just this natural coincidence, right? So you guys, I'm going to put this in the description. I'm going to put a couple of links in the description. Copper fabric blocking. This is going to, and I have some copper netting that I'm going to get, and I'm going to take this copper netting and I'm going to add it to a layer of protection on my head. And when you're protecting your head, you want to make sure that you're protecting not only your ears and your head and everything, but you want to make sure that you're protecting your whole neck. Sometimes it's going to be hard to protect the face, but you want to make sure that you're protecting at least like this part of the neck, because they can conduct electromagnetic frequencies or fields right up the skin to the ear, to the inner ear, electromagnetic pulses. And that's just one way, right? There's a couple of ways that this directed energy is delivered to the brain. And one is like from conducting along the skin to the inner ear, then to the brain. Then one is electromagnetic transcranial stimulation, right? Then one is like actually just frequencies that go straight through, that pass through to certain areas of the brain. So there's a couple of different ways, then, but also bone conduction. So what I noticed with the bone conduction headphones is it really tones down my voice to skull, because I've really been doing the noise canceling frequencies to the inner ear in Dave Case's CD, but then they adjust the V2K. The bone conduction headphones really hit it, really knock it down to where I can't even hear it. And I think that's because they're using a bone conduction technique to do my V2K up to the inner ear. I also do think that I have like an implant, a bigger, like a rice-sized implant somewhere, either in the ear, like either exactly in the ear or in my teeth or over on this side, you know, because I've had tons of pain on this vagus nerve even before my overt targeting started. Mischievous M says, Robert, you should get fully grown aloe vera plants in your home. They absorb radiation and help the temp in your home return to normal. Get medicinal type. James Stewart says, that's weird. I haven't been zapped at all yet. Maybe because I'm still early in the program. I guess maybe you have, I didn't know it was in the program. Like I got the overt targeting. It started in 2011, but I was gang stalked and hit with microwave, like I think implant, like stimulation of implant to my vagus nerve for like 10 years with me thinking it was just medical issues. So my targeting is pretty weird. I think everybody's is kind of weird. It's a little bit different from other people's, but we're still getting hit with the same frequencies and the same gang stalking. I hope you don't get zapped. I hope that never starts. Generation says try body grounding. Yes. So grounding straps, or you can make something, you can manually create something. Grounding is super important, guys. This targeting is filling up our body with positive ions, the cells of our body. It's filling up with positive ions on the skin. So your body's reacting to this stuff more and more. You guys who maybe don't use defenses, do you agree with this, that it gets worse and worse? It's not necessarily because your body just can't take it, and that is one of the things. But one of the angles of it is that these positive ions, there's this cumulative effect. There's a cyclical effect of these directed energy weapons. It gets worse and worse. Grounding is a good way to break that cycle. Grounding is a way that you're going to introduce negative ions onto the skin and in the body, and it's going to cancel out a lot of these positive ions are going to drain out through the grounding, right? So it's going to break that cycle. Yeah, generation is definitely correct on that one. Try body grounding. Yeah, Odin says the best part of my day is going to sleep. The worst part is waking up. Yeah, that's when I feel the worst, when I wake up. Hey, Shadow Quicksilver. I don't like to go to sleep because I know that they're gonna give me directed dreams and stuff during the night, and I never look forward to going to sleep. I remember before I knew I was targeted, I was like targeted a little bit, but it wasn't 24 hours a day and overt and just horrific. I would love to go to sleep. I look forward to laying in bed and my mind would wander. Right, my mind would wander on all these cool things and images just flowing in my head. And Like they were just doing things every once in a while. Like, and this was way back in like 2007, maybe 2005 or something. I love a soft pillow and your mind's just flowing, and you didn't feel as isolated. I didn't feel as isolated and depressed and just like, and I didn't have V2K, right? V2K for all these years, constant 24-hour a day V2K, it's changed the way I perceive like turning off the TV, turning off video games, stop watching YouTube. Like I'll lay in bed watching something, before I go to bed, because I can't just sit in silence. The V2K is going to be running, and I have manual V2K too. I know a lot of people think this is all AI. I think it depends on the target, but I have human operators mixed with automated systems, and it gets really creepy when you realize there are people still sitting there on a brain to computer interface thinking of visuals that can go into your brain and saying things like, whenever you're trying to think of something positive, like the guy on my V2K, he'll just be like, "You're retarded. Nobody cares," stuff like that. When I'm trying to, amp myself up positively, I've had to really adapt to get into a positive flow and connect with God. Even my attackers have seen some of these synchronicities that have nothing to do with them, and some of them are like, "Wow, that's really weird that that's happening." It's you can even, some of you guys that are very, very spiritual, and God's given you synchronicities, and that's just a fact of it. I know that our attackers give us synchronicities, but I'm not ever going to see every synchronicity in my life as something part of this program. I think that's very dangerous. Your attackers might see God through this. And I don't care about them really. That's kind of God's gonna, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I've had to learn to focus on you guys, on myself, on my family, on doing what's positive. I'll even say sometimes, and I know for some of you guys who just started getting targeted, you're not going to understand this. I wouldn't have for the first 6 years of my overt targeting. I'm just kind of like, well, I know y'all are murdering me and it's just a job, and I'm going to help people and get my life better and stop this program. And it's really nothing personal to y'all. In that way, I neutralize it. I'm not feeding them negative emotions. I'm not feeding them my anger anymore. It's not a forgiveness thing to them, and I have forgiven my attackers. I actually have. I'll admit that to you guys. They're murdering me. They're torturing me. I have forgiven them, for me, for my family, for you guys, for progress, for me moving on. This is a weird situation. I know a lot of target individuals, you're going to judge that. You're going to be like, "You're crazy. These people need to be killed, blah, blah, blah." I've gone through all that. I want to ascend. I want to get with God. I want to help people. This world is falling apart. There's so many murderers out there. There's people doing evil. There's people stealing. You're not going to stop them all. You're not going to give them all vengeance. You need to figure out what you need to do in your path to make things a little brighter, to create this positive ripple effect. For some of you, it's going to be crucial, and you're going to do it. You're going to adapt, and God's going to help you, right? He's going to help you through other TIs and other things. But I do want to tell y'all, and I think some of it is remote neural manipulation. I think some of it's like that bull that Delgado, did the things. I think some of it is like behavior modification of me. They're making me less angry in that, and then but I think some of it's also God. I'm passionate in what I want to do, but I don't want to let anger and vengeance muddy it and sully it. There's so many evil people in the world. I want to correct things as much as I can. I know we want people to hang or whatever. I really don't care. I want good for what good people. It's kind of where I've gone. But you gotta figure out those things yourself. And human beings, even though you're hearing something, maybe from me, I had to go through this stuff for years and years. And when I'd hear other people say things like this, like what I'm saying, I'd be like, screw that. Like, I want these people to pay. I want to shoot them in the face or whatever. I don't anymore. I'm not a danger to myself or others. It sucks. It sucks how you can't just talk and like not worry about it. But I've come to just like doing what's right. I get mad sometimes. I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? But it's not my whole thing. Also, something involved in that is toning down the targeting, like using passive shielding, grounding, things that make it less intense. Because if it's intense, like if it was still intense for me, like it's intense, like it's still messing with me. They still mess with my head and stuff like that. But if it was as intense and just keeping going, I would be like, I want him dead. I want him dead, and I want to go, do a bunch of bad stuff. I wouldn't do a bunch of bad stuff, but I'd just like be very angry, right? So a very important factor in that is toning down your targeting to get there. It does get kind of complicated though, because we're dealing with behavioral conditioning and things like that. I'm not sure everything that my attackers have done to my personality. That's another reason why I'm like, I gotta kind of slow down, right? I can't keep grinding it. We do have to take breaks sometimes. I was actually, well, I'm not going to get into all that because we still got some information to go through. Hey, Lion and the Lamb, that good timing. I'm about to go through your information you sent me. Yeah, Jennifer Burns says they have blocked most of my emotions. Easier to control someone this way. Yeah, I don't know. If you're using logic, it's not that easy to control you. Use your logic and your instinct. If you're angry all the time, it's easier to control you. You want to get angry enough to do something, but you don't want to be filled with anger so that it's blinding you. When you have no emotions, I don't know. I still have emotions, but I have good emotions. Like I'll like I was talking about like Captain America earlier, my family or things that inspire me. You want to move towards those positive emotions, right? So yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, that robotic feeling. And it is easier to control us. Try and pump yourself up with positive things and instill those emotions. It's going to take Jennifer, it's going to take some shielding. It's going to take some practical things because this targeting can be super intense. It's going to take some practical stuff. Let me show you all two things, and then I'm going to get Robert Stanza says you're being deteriorated, bro. Are you talking to me, Robert? Robert says, if you want to save your life, you want to save your job and not have to live on the streets, you better get a hold of me. I can shield from everything 100%. Yeah, guys, get in contact with Robert. He's got some really, really good ideas. I'm doing pretty good, man. I mean, I'm dealing with the targeting, but I'm getting through it. But I see you're doing great. You're doing good, and people should contact you. Alonzo Avina Pacheco says, I'm a targeted individual being attacked with directed energy weapons by the U.S. government, and I am a human subject to a military electronic experiment funded by the government of the United States. So, yeah, and we do not consent. Alonzo Avina Pacheco does not consent to being targeted by microwave weapons, by directed energy weapons, by neuro weapons. He does not consent. Okay, and I do not consent either. Yeah, Tanya says Robert TIs have no money. That's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems. That copper is a pretty good solution. That's pretty cheap. Let me just go to two things real quick, guys. Then I'm going to get to Lion and Lamb's information. I'm going to do some smaller videos on these things. I know some of y'all might see them over again, but I'm definitely going to do some smaller videos on them. So this is one of the things that's kept me sane and really helped me along, guys. And my attackers really slow down my computer a lot. Okay, so antitinitusv2k.com. This is Dave Case's CD. I know a lot of y'all have heard me say this a million times, but I want to put this the website in the description. I'd say when you first start using it, use it like every day and then start using it at night. Guys, go to this website, and I'm going to do this on a video, but go to this antitinitusv2k.com, and it's for free. You just have to pay for shipping. But now what he's done is he's put all these testimonies down here, which is genius. It's genius because a lot of people talk about this. You see some people talking about in their videos, but you can look through these real testimonies because I've sent a lot of these people CDs, helped them out a while back. and they send him emails of how it's helping him, right? And they sent me a couple too. I haven't sent anybody out CDs in like a year or 2 years or something like that. But he put all these testimonies. So go to this website, look at the testimonies, so you can see how it's helped people. Listen to them describe their targeting and their remote neural manipulation. Really, this is something that it scientifically works. Stops that biofeedback loop from the inner ear to the brain and the nervous system, which they can get signals to the inner ear through a couple of different methods. One of the methods that Dave Case talks about is electromagnetic pulses straight in there, or conducting along the skin, or transcranial electromagnetic stimulation, right, of electromagnetic fields. Please go and read these if you have not tried Dave Case's CD, because it's the cheapest thing. It's free. Like if he wanted to sell this thing, I think more people would try it. If he was selling it for like $100, people would be like, oh, that's worth something. Because it's a free CD, people may not see the value in it, right? Because he's a very good Christian man, and he's just giving it away, which he's a saint. He's a saint. He's saved my life. This guy has saved my life. So go to this website and check those testimonies out. Now, one other thing before we go into the AmazingOne, the devices that you can buy on AmazingOne, and there's actually a device that we may be able to pick up some of these frequencies. I know we can do it with Audacity and stuff like that. I kind of want to also work on some of those things too, right? On like getting good recordings, but more so editing good, good information. I don't know. I just got to figure things out. I got to pray more. I'm not even certain that God really wants me to quit YouTube. There's just a change. I guess that's the bottom line. There's a change, and I'm trying to get with God, but sometimes life is. I was about to exit the live stream, guys. My attackers are probably doing that to my brain. Okay, so before we go to the did I share screen? Okay, yeah. So these have also been just a huge. Let's wait for it to come up. I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about this. I tried the hearing aids, I like used some of my Social Security and tried the other ones that fit directly in the ear. But these Britsco 702 hearing amplifier for adults to aid in hearing and lifestyle, layered noise canceling personal sound amplifier, PSAP. I have these in right now. Dr. Hoffer advised another TI to get them. These gray ones, they were $80 when I got them. I think a lot of people are buying them. A lot of targeted individuals are buying them. So it's gone up in price. I would save up to get these. These are worth it. These are worth it. They not only tone down V2K, but they do tone down any kind of vagus nerve stimulation or remote neural manipulation pain, like all throughout the body, or clouded thinking, and anxiety and things like that. If I don't have these, like my attackers will like start shaking my body, right? So these are definitely worth it. I wanted to give you all those ideas because we definitely got to come at this from more than two angles, but I want to simplify it. You've got to work on the external hits, and you've got to work on the remote neural manipulation, what that's doing to your feelings, your autonomic nervous system, and your nervous system, right? Pain throughout your nervous system. A lot of you guys are probably have the vagus nerve stimulation. And Dr. James Giordano talks a lot about that. I've talked a lot about that. These are worth it. I know it's $150. I know that we don't have a lot of money, but I want to give y'all the ideas, right? Start getting the cheaper stuff, pull yourself up, and then maybe save up, to get some of these. They've really helped me a lot. So I just wanted to do those two quick things, mention them. I'm going to do separate videos on them. I know a lot of you guys hear it a lot from me, but some people kind of just come and check out my channel and they still keep asking some of the same questions. So I'm really going to focus a lot on making, organized playlists of things that are very crucial, and then redoing some of these things and talking about how it's helped me just on a short video, right? Because some things get lost in these live streams. I love it that you guys can talk and chat and everything, but some people, they're just going to watch like the first 15 minutes and they're not going to see any of this information. So I really want all target individuals to get this stuff. Okay, now let's go to AmazingOne, guys. I've got something at the end too. I was questioning whether or not I should play it because it's from Lion of Judah, and I'm not sure if he like copyrights his material, but I think I just want to play it. And I don't think they'd take my video down. Maybe I can put advertisements up on my video and he would get the money. Because he is, man, they deserve whatever. They put out some great stuff. I'll kind of talk about that later. Okay, so I'm going to put this to thank you, Lion and the Lamb. I've heard about this throughout the years, actually. I've heard about AmazingOne, but because my research has led me to like, there's an infrastructure, you know, microwave towers, 5G, over the horizon radar, drones, and all these things, and satellite being the brain of the system, right? That I can't think of the word, that pushes the signals through this other the infrastructure, also Gwyn towers and things like that. I never went and looked at this because, you know, there are ground weapons. These are some directed energy devices that prove that this stuff exists, right? And that if your neighbors, like in some circumstances, I think what's happening, if you have like an ex-military neighbor that's involved in gang stalking, involved in the like DHS Fusion Center gang stalking, they may not be the people doing the remote neural monitoring to you. They would maybe come to this site, get these things, and do some sonic weapon stuff if they live next door to you. So this is really important. It's not everything, right? But it proves that this stuff exists, right? So let's go through some of these. The first one's actually a receiver, which is really interesting. The first one's a receiver, right? So let's read it. Let's just read it. So information unlimited. Am I at the top of it? It's amazingone.com/ultrasonics.html. I'm going to put it in the description. It's a good proof that directed energy exists, that directed energy devices exist. And I think that in a lot of cases, some of the gang stalkers, neighbors and stuff would get these things to supplement, right? My thing is that if you're getting 24-hour-a-day remote neural manipulation and external hits when you go to Walmart and stuff, then you're getting hit from the grid. You're getting hit from an infrastructure. But then all these things like these kind of devices, and then even more advanced like handheld directed energy weapons can be used by your neighbors to supplement. I think I had an ex-Army neighbor once who supplement my attacks with ground weapons, right? So this is really important information. Ultrasound deterrence for personal home and property protection. You know, they're spinning this, right? They're spinning it like, oh, well, this is to protect your property. And if you have a neighbor that's making too much noise, you can just make them nauseous with this sonic disabler, or something like that. You know, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, it's all okay. It's just something that law enforcement does when it's like torturing people. So it's definitely not good. Hey, Honey Badger, what's up, man? Yeah. Honey Badger says, hey, Jeffo, this website is crazy, isn't it? Heard of it last year. I was blown away. Yeah, let's go through some of them, guys. Jared Rear says, I'm so blessed that I found this channel and love everyone in chat. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like get to come here and like it makes y'all feel like part of a community, you know. Hey, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty says, me too, Jared. Okay, let's go through because we're gonna go through a bunch of them. Yeah, definitely Lion and the Lamb. Thank you for sending it to me. I'd heard about it a bunch, but I was always just like, because you know that like we're getting hit by, you know, satellites routing signals from microwave towers, radar, Gwyn towers, and stuff like that. So I was like, well, it's not we're being hit with 24 hours a day when we're out there, but it is used. They are used. Like these devices are used on targeted individuals, and it's different things are being done to us at different times when we become a target. So it's very, very important. I should have looked at it before. Just always, you know, this or that. There's so many angles to cover, and that's why one of the things is we need more people speaking out. You know, I'm gonna not cover angles that some of you guys want to cover. but just send me stuff, you know, and I will. So this page describes some very unique items generally categorized as ultrasound. The ultrasonic receiver is a device that can detect this. This one detects it. This is the first one. It detects it, but then there's more that actually put out these sonic waves, sonic fields, and stuff like that. So the ultrasonic generators are devices that create ultrasonic sound waves, which can be used in some novel ways, such as a safety deterrent or conditioning device. Conditioning device. Listen to that. Conditioning device. What do you want to condition someone to do? To run away, to be nauseous, so they have to, so they're sick and they want to leave their home or something like that. So this ultrasonic receiver advanced electronic circuitry lets you hear only ultrasounds and reject normal sounds, determine what and where it's coming from. Now, this, guys, I want y'all all to look into it. I'm going to put the link in the description. I think we might be able to use this to detect and prove some of the layers that are coming at us, because I think some of these streams of energy, directed energy, are going to be ultrasound. You know, I think that some of the things that my attackers do, like they'll send ultrasound to my stomach or my intestines to see like where my food is so they can hit it. So I think there is an ultrasonic element to some of the layers of this targeting. So this unique item is a directional ultrasonic heterodyning type listening device. Listen to the amazing world of high frequency sounds. It has many uses both in the scientific field, especially entomology to study insects, bats, other animals, and fauna. Leaking air, water, gas, steam pipes, and machinery wear are only a few of the many faults easily made detectable, potentially preventing more serious events from occurring. It can serve as a detection device, allowing one to hear animals or people walking in the woods or on dry ground, or even on a wet day. A crumpling plastic bag, moving coins, a keychain, raindrops, etc. This unit opens a whole new world, allowing you to listen to sounds you didn't think even existed. Its directional reception allows for the detection and general location of ultrasound that may be used as harassment. So I think this is a really good idea, guys. I think this is a really good idea for some of us to look into in detecting and proving some of this stuff. It's $349, rentable option. Assembled and ready to use ultrasonic receiver with headsets, dish, and microphone mount, and included rental option, $349. $349 to prove some of this stuff. I mean, because I don't know how much Audacity is. I think Audacity is like maybe $60. It's maybe cheaper than that. But this seems like something you can catch the frequencies in a dish and get a readout on it. Headsets, dish, and microphone mount. But I wonder where you get the readout. I wonder if you can get a readout. Yeah, you can get a readout. Let's see. Here are the astounding. This is really important, guys, because this may be something that we can detect and prove this directed energy that's hitting us, right? Let's see what the hertz are. Here are the astounding and incredible world of high frequency sounds beyond frequencies detectable by the human ear. Battery operated directional device detects sounds beyond the range of human hearing with narrow band tuning from about 23 to 27 kilohertz. So some of the stuff they're doing isn't in that range, but some of it might be. And the thing is, if you could get this device and you could read that range, they may stop doing things that are in that range. You could detect it, but then over a long period of time, they might actually stop doing some of the stuff that's on that specific ultrasonic range. Allowing you to hear and pinpoint mechanical, electrical, and biological sounds such as leaking gases, air, water, corona leakage. Oh, that's weird. Corona leakage. It means something else, but it's just weird. Motor frictional sounds, potentially including bearing wear breakdown noises, bats, insects, and other sounds of Mother Nature. A hunter's aid for high frequency sounds made by animals traveling through dry woods or even wet grass, even beating water. There are countless applications for this unit. So the 12-inch aluminum parabolic dish increases the amount and sensitivity of collected sound, increases the reception of fainter sounds or those from a longer distance, and provides more of a directional target location. Look at this. Look, pinpoint those annoying sounds coming from bark controllers, animal repellers, and those who might be purposefully using ultrasounds against you for harassment. How many more devices for detection are going to come out like this? That's great. This is really important, guys. So go check this out right here. It's like $349, but maybe, you know, like Mike Mason got the, what's it called? What's the sound thing? It's the sound in a cone. I can't even remember, but he got that device. We did a funding for it. I even donated to it. I think I donated like $100 to it. Then he got it, then sent it to Frank, and then sent it to somebody else. Like, so many people got to use it. So maybe we could do something like that and try and detect some of the ultrasonic frequencies that are used in our targeting. I just don't think it's only ultrasonic frequencies targeting us, but we could detect something, you know, get some good evidence with this. What was that thing called? Can you guys? Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Cheryl. Cheryl says the audio spotlight. Yeah, that's it. TI individual says, Kyle, do these help more than bone conducting earphones? What the noise canceling hearing aids? For me, the noise canceling hearing aids help more than the bone conduction headphones. But I've been using these, like I was using the other hearing aids with those other ones, and it seemed like it was a good combination. Personally, man, I don't know, because I don't use the bone conduction headphones enough. That's the problem. Like, I don't use them enough. I don't use them every day. But when I use them, it helps me, like it lifts my emotions. My thinking's clear. I don't seem to get many visual injections that I know of. The problem with mine, and you know, I've kind of seen how I don't really go into detail about exactly what they're doing on remote neural manipulation and stuff like that. I do talk about my V2K usually. The problem with mine is it's going on so long that what they're really trying to do, they're trying to make the thoughts match with mine, and then slowly, like, because my attackers are extremely scarily, creepily patient. They're very patient now, like a serial killer, like patience. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing. And they want to kind of use some thoughts that feel like mine, but I can usually tell, you know, I can usually tell. Some people maybe say that I can't. They'll be like, you're completely mind controlled. But they're trying a bunch of different stuff where it's like different protocols to try and change my behavior and stuff like that. Some of it could be succeeding a little bit, but the big stuff, it's like God's got that taken care of. I know when I'm going in the right direction and when I'm not going in the right direction. But yeah, it gets pretty complicated after many years of overt targeting. They're going to try and do things that you would be like, oh, well, that's just my thought. But then they're working, well, this is my attackers. It could be a different protocol for other people, but they'll do things for a long period of time, and then in like a Trojan horse. So that's what I've been dealing with. I've been dealing with, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing stuff. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But the defenses really help with that. It makes them also change their protocol. You guys realize that? And when you're using a bunch of defenses, it might force them to take a less blunted protocol. They might want you to think that some things are working that might not be working as well, right? And I'm not saying all my defenses don't work. I'm just saying it can really control what your attacker's doing. You can start to get a lot of control because they might try and start, you know, doing a protocol based on like using all these defenses. And it's less blunt trauma, right? Less feeling like your body's just, well, still tough, but better. but better. You gain more control. Just bottom line, you gain more control of your life. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to some of these things that emit the frequencies. I just think this is super important. This could be very important for us to prove this stuff. And there's going to be some of these devices, like besides an ultrasonic receiver, there's going to be devices that come out that can be a microwave receiver or scalar wave receiver, receiving certain frequencies. So this is a lot of hope too. This is a lot of hope, guys. You see where things are headed in the consumer market. Now, these aren't hopeful. Ultrasound pain field guns and sonic shockwave generators can discourage and intimidate intruders, drive out animal pests, and train dogs to stop barking. These ultrasound pain field guns and generators can be tuned to target certain animals and unwanted human intruders. The effect does not cause injury, but produces a debilitating, highly discomforting feeling of nausea, disorientation, and paranoia, which a lot of us from our targeting, from our remote targeting and maybe something your neighbors are supplementing with, you get disorientation, paranoia, anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. But I just want to make it clear, this isn't the only thing we're being hit with, right, guys? There's a lot of different stuff that happens to a targeted individual. This is just really good proof that directed energy is so common, right, that it's being mass produced at a level where people can just go and buy devices for like $100 off of the internet. It's a very common thing. And then when we talk about, hey, we're being hit remotely by stuff that can, connect the electromagnetic fields of the brain. And that's not really the way that it works, but you get what I'm saying. They're like, oh, you guys are crazy. You're whack. So if this stuff exists on AmazingOne.com, ultrasonics.html, for just any neighbor that you have could go pick up some of these sonic weapons, what does the military industrial complex have? 5G going up, and even 4G towers and stuff like that. Ground radar, over the horizon radar, HARP, Gwyn towers, with the things that DARPA are doing. I mean, it has to make people realize that what we're saying is true. So it's really great concrete evidence. And some of you guys might have, I don't think right now I have anybody using any ground devices on me, but some of you guys may very well have neighbors who are participating in the gang stalking. They may not be doing everything to you, but they may be using some of these devices. I'd say that's a very huge potential for that. A lot of you may be saying, yeah, I have neighbors that are using stuff like that, definitely. So, okay, there are many home and personal alarms available, but none have a deterrent that can prevent or discourage an encounter quite like ultrasound. You will find on this page devices that can be tied in with alarm systems to provide a pain field. Aren't there laws against this stuff? Like even to do it to somebody that's breaking into somebody's home, aren't there laws to like, maybe it's changed. Look into the laws on that one. A pain field that can produce, well, yeah, they're murdering us. So somebody that's connected to law enforcement or just has friends in law enforcement that's creating pain fields to anybody that comes near their house, I'm sure they're not going to arrest them or charge them with anything. Because, I mean, they're murdering families with children, me, you guys. So can be tied in with alarm system to provide a pain field that can produce very uncomfortable to painful effects. These can range from debilitating and incapacitating to enervating fear and threatening to sickening nausea and nerve-wracking paranoia, all without physical contact. Effects can vary to an extent with number of units used, installation, distances, target sensitivity, and other variables. So let's go down to them. So the Nausea 10RC, sonic nausea device, great for ridding unwanted visitors inside or out. Discreetly discourage unwanted gatherings with radio control option, allowing operation from up to 300 feet away. Yeah, 300 feet away. 300 feet away. and they're advertising these things like if your neighbors, like I saw something, you can look it up on YouTube if it's still there. I saw it, man. I should have sent that out to. I sent it out. I think I put it out like I shared it. I shared it with a bunch of people, told a bunch of people on the calls. But it was this guy with a little black box, and he had neighbors that were playing the drums too loud. And he was like, yeah, they're playing the drums too loud. So I just set up this little sonic box, and it gave them really intense depression and nausea because they live, you know, really close together. And he said, yeah, they stopped playing the drums and they eventually moved away. So that's torture. I mean, this stuff is advertised to just get rid of unwanted neighbors and stuff like that. We know how that works as targeted individuals. Unfortunately for me, and I would assume most of you guys in chat, I would assume all of you guys in chat, you can't get away from the type of targeting that we have. You know, it's from a, you know, grid structure. You know, with the satellite is the brain. But I wish, like, that's what I thought at first. When I first started getting targeted, I thought I could just move away from it, right? And in the remote targeting, they shifted it. You know, they made me think that I had gotten away from it, but were turning up the high pitch sound every once in a while to make me think my ears were damaged. But they knew that they were remotely targeting me. I think I've just been targeted for so long. They're doing some really weird stuff. Okay, so easily hidden circuit produces a very annoying sonic wave that people feel, yet most do not hear, and eventually over a short period of time cannot tolerate. Acoustic wave shape makes the source hard to locate. Optional radio control allows remote operation from up to 300 feet away, allows the user to have a lot of fun playing jokes on people. That's insane. That is insane. Because like you could play a joke on a friend, right, from 300 feet away, like give them a little nauseous feeling, and then come out and be like, hey, that was me, I gave you a nauseous feeling. But you can also, if you just live like in an apartment building, you can just they can have through the wall radar, and then just put the sonic ray on somebody and just keep it there, like some of us are probably experiencing. I would say that you know, there are these devices, but then there's even more sophisticated ones that people who sign up with InfraGard use. And then you've got the, you know, my remote attackers who I don't think they even live in this condo building. But yeah, that's, you can play jokes on people. The Nausea 10RC is the radio controllable version, which can be operated at distances out to 300 feet. This allows the user to have a lot of fun playing jokes on people, or provides a very useful tool against unwanted intrusions and unwanted congestions of people. The Nausea 10RC includes a 12-volt wall adapter that runs on 110 or 220 VAC input, allowing it to run on wall power 24/7, or can be powered internally by 8 AA batteries not included, for remote operation in areas without wall power. Outside range of effects is the most effective, up to 25 feet on most people. It will work beyond this range, but to a reduced effect with distance. Inside a room may be more effective depending on objects that will absorb the output rather than reflect it. So it's the sonic nausea device, which I'm sure a lot of us have had used on us. I'm kind of worried. I'm just a little bit worried that, like, I know that these devices exist, and I know that neighbors who are involved with gang stalking could use these. I'm just kind of worried that I'm going to be, a lot of targeted individuals are going to be watching this video and maybe thinking this is the only thing that's happening to them. And then their attackers, their remote attackers, are going to do a psyop on them and really make them think their neighbors have just these type of devices, you know, because this stuff gets so complicated. But let's just read through them. They exist, people use them, you know, so and it's good proof, and there's a lot of stuff and a lot of devices being used on targeted individuals. So let's just bottom line it. I don't want to get too complicated with it. I just want to put the information out, and then put the you know, put the link in the description so you guys can have access this information and show your families or show people you're trying to convince that this stuff does exist. So the IGP 90, just thinking of some, my neighbor who's giving me noise harassment, like coming and doing weird sounds on the other side of my bathroom. Just thinking about that. No. Okay, IGP 90, invisible pain field generator, shirt pocket sized. You can put it in your pocket and create a field of pain around people that you're standing in front of. Our pain field device, let's see, shirt pocket size spooks dogs and other animals, even reported to scare bears away and people too. I wonder what, so factory set frequencies at 12 kilohertz for immediate effect on most people, 17 kilohertz for dogs, 25 kilohertz for longer term effects, insect experiments, etc. So let's read this. Let me get something to drink real quick. Frank Aline says, in your nervous system and brain. Frank Aline says, you put conductive hydrogel materials as biomaterials and boom, you're a walking cell phone. Wayne Morris says, think Bernie can help us. No, I'm afraid that if Bernie became president, it would get worse because he's like a socialist. I'm afraid it would get a lot worse. Jeff O says, I say we lock Giordano in a room with HR pumping stuff. Giordano will tell us everything within the hour. Yeah, man. He's given us a lot of good information. That's the thing. Like, I understand, guys. I get it that he's not saying, hey, the U.S. is torturing citizens. He's saying there's nothing on the books like this. He's lying, right? He's omitted. He's lying by omission. I get that, but he doesn't lie about the information he's putting out. You see what I'm saying? He's not putting out a bunch of disinformation. He's putting out real methods of asymmetrical warfare and things that are taught to war colleges, right? So you can look at his information and be like, yeah, that's right. He's maybe not going as far as to say that this is happening to United States citizens. It's happening to Australian citizens. It's happening to citizens in England. It's happening to citizens on every continent, really. Happening on a global level. He's not going to say that because he's trying to protect our military industrial complex in America. Not really my military industrial complex, because it's murdering me. But my point is that the information that he's giving out is correct. Like it's really lining up with what I know. It's not enough though. He does know more. So we do need him to put out more information. Maybe he can put out more information as time goes on or something like that. I'd love to talk to him. I guess I'd be worried. I'd be worried that he's a part of this and that like my targeting could get worse. Because like I'm pretty smart, so talking to him, he may be like, wow, this guy's putting out too much crucial information and we want to have enough disinformation out there. So hey, he might. I'm very paranoid. Just bottom line, I'm pretty paranoid about the what people are doing. Even people who are telling the truth, they're going to tell some lies or whatever, even by omission. That's still lying to me. And the way that people are just justifying it in their heads to join up with like FBI task forces. There's certain task forces to come in the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook. I am still not going to say this guy's name that I really, really suspect. He's bigger though. He's a bigger guy, and he's worked with Jason Goodman. I'll just say that. But maybe not. See, that's why I don't want to do that, because I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of programs where they have COINTELPRO, and it's hard to trust people, right? Bottom line, it's very hard to trust people. We still got to do it because they're really good targeted individuals. I'm one of them. I know I'm one of them, right? So I know there's more people like me out there. That's a good place to start, right? If you're a real targeted individual that's putting out real good information, or you're fighting for your life, you know you exist, right? So there's more of you out there. Kind of a good place to start. But yeah, I'm pretty paranoid. I've had some incidents where I'm just like, I need to be pretty careful. It's what just me. Really recommend her channel. I recommended her channel earlier. You know, she was just saying I have to put up my wall. Like, I try and be nice to people and talk to people, but I got to put up my wall. And I don't think that as target individuals, you know, don't take it personally if a target individual maybe puts up their wall sometimes. It may not mean that, you know, that you're a bad person or you did something wrong, but target individuals sometimes have to put up their wall. It gets overwhelming. You don't know what their attackers are doing to them. Yeah, I guarantee you guys, there's some stuff that it's like, y'all wouldn't even believe me if I told you. Like, you'd just be like, you've gone off the deep end, Kyle. You're way too paranoid. But so you don't know what other target individuals are going through with some of this, these task forces, COINTELPRO and stuff like that. So, I mean, I agree with her. You gotta have a little bit of play things close to the vest, put up your wall, but still try and help people, be friends with people, use logic and stuff like that. Dicey, getting dicey. It's getting, what's that? And I was saying that earlier this week in my head a bunch. On the Joker movie, he's like, is it just me, or is it getting a lot crazier out there? I don't think I got the line right. I've been doing that to screw around with my attackers. I've been saying it in my head. Our pain field devices are generally very effective for their intended purpose, but living things sometimes may react differently to this type of stimulus when used for animal control. Miniature electronic device intended for potential vicious dog and animal protection may discourage human encounters. Also can be used for field research work. Complex sonic shock waves are internally adjustable for maximizing on target subject. Operating frequency is 18 to 19 kilohertz, right at the edge of human hearing. Sweep mode intensifies effect. Effective range of up to 25 feet. "12 kilohertz for immediate effect on people. Pain field generator." I wonder how that comes out. Like, it's include, so 4 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches. Oh, that's the size of the actual device. But I'm wondering how that, if it's just a field, like it goes like this, like the frequencies go out, or if it actually does some kind of circular thing. Assembled and ready to use. You know what, guys? This is giving me really bad thoughts right now. If you have a gang stalker that's really, this is theoretical, and I'm not telling anybody to do anything, right? I'm not telling anybody to do anything, and y'all can quote me on that one. But if you have some gang stalkers that maybe get around you and they're trying to do their street theater, just have this in your bar. Somebody could theoretically that could happen. But okay, so y'all get the point, right? Let's see what the other ones are. This one, look at this, a pistol type emitter, PPP10-HP, 3rd generation handheld pistol type emitter. Generate directional ultrasonic pain field and sonic shrieking shock waves. Extended range and 2 levels of output power. Effective at avoiding unwanted human encounters and home intrusions. Also an excellent low-cost approach to determine the feasibility of using our larger, more expensive systems. See, these, I'm sure they sell like way more expensive systems, and then you've got like the military industrial complex that has like integrated directed energy weapon systems with integrated neuro weapon systems, right? So it's this, like, even with these weapons, it's a pyramidal spider web. of people that are involved in having the weapons and using them on people, and the people that have the weapons, and like the people that, not the people that they're used on, but the people using them, and their range of like from low level gang stalker or even non-gang stalkers that may use them outside of their home or just use them when their neighbors are playing drums or whatever, to you know, people who have to have top secret clearances for specific front companies and contractors using very sophisticated technology too, right? It's a, once again, a pyramid, a spider web inside of a pyramid. So, okay, an improved design with unique advantages now offered with a ranged extender tube. This feature greatly intensifies the effect at far field and projects a narrower beam that confines the effect into a smaller area. I would say there's a big chance that I've been hit with some of, you know, some of these things from my ex-Army neighbor, and I had an ex-Navy on the other side, and I bet you they were using some of these devices with, you know, help, along with the more sophisticated, you know, integrated directed energy weapon systems that the contractor's using on me. Because like when you have something like remote neural manipulation, they're putting visuals into your visual cortex and stuff like that, you know, and you're getting hit in Walmart, you know, it's from the grid. But I'm sure a lot of us are having this. This is eye-opening, you know, looking at this stuff. So this feature greatly intensifies the effect at far field and projects a narrower beam that confines the effect into a smaller area. Our test documentation shows that with the range extending tube, sound pressure increases many decibels. These new improvements more than triple the range. The effect is also noticed on frequencies above and below human hearing. All new long-range ultrasonic pain field guns with high power output. Look at that thing, guys. 150 high power version. So this is something, oh man, I hope my neighbor does not watch these videos. I know that he's like doing noise campaigns, but I hope that he doesn't on his own get some of this crap, because I know that he knows when I go to the bat. F. That's kind of why I want to stop doing videos too. It's an angle of it, because you're talking about all this stuff. People that get ideas that are maybe involved in it. And I know my attackers tonight are going to be doing a psyop. They're already doing it. They're doing a heat thing coming in right here, as if my neighbor's doing it. They're gearing up. They're freaking gearing up. That's also something. Just Me is very smart. Just Me. Her channel is Just Me. She's very smart about that too. She wants to do videos and help people, but she's like, they use these videos, right? My attackers have learned a lot about me from these videos. Even though they can do remote neural monitoring and stuff, when I'm dumping out my emotions and stuff like that, they've learned what I want in life, because sometimes I'll blurt things out that are deeper down that I'm not always thinking about. Yeah, that's kind of, it's one of the angles. And God's always trying to protect us, you know. You may be like, God's always trying to protect us, and sometimes it may seem like a loss or something that you don't want to do. Not like bad stuff, but things that you're just like, oh man. Sometimes that's God protecting you from something, even yourself. Okay, let's not get. I'm sorry. Let's not get off into spiritual stuff. But I do have something at the end to cheer everybody up, because I know this is depressing stuff. Maybe for some of you, it's not depressing at all, and in targeted individuals. I'm just not saying. Quote me on this. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, and just quote me on that. But you can't help but get ideas, can you? Got me some ideas. Especially, and I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, gives you some, it just makes you think about the street theater and the people coming out at the same time as you. You kind of think about this thing. You're like, you know, but I'm not telling anybody to do anything except the defensive stuff. You know, I'm encouraging you guys to do that and to get with God and things like that. But I'm not, I think you guys get the gist of it, right? All right, let's do it with the left eye, not the right eye. This is non-Illuminati. Okay. Uh, okay, so ultrasound protective deterrents are non-lethal and highly effective at preventing unwanted encounters. We have a lot of unwanted. I'm just saying we have a lot of unwanted encounters, right? I'm just saying it's a stated fact that targeted individuals have a lot of unwanted encounters. I'm just going to say that. And I'll leave it at that. So this handheld ultrasonic gun has many. They're going to take my video down. YouTube's definitely going to take this down. Okay, this handheld ultrasonic gun, I'm not. I'll tell you that much. If the video disappears, it's not me. This handheld ultrasonic gun has many uses. Its portability allows it to flush out rats and other vermin around areas such as, we know, targeted individuals, don't we know a lot of rats? I think we know a lot of rats. Gun has its portability allows it to flush out rats and other vermin around areas such as silage bins, chicken coops, dumpsters, etc. It can be used as a survey tool for research with animals on the effect of this pain field. It can be used as a survey tool for research with animals on the effect of this pain field and serve to determine whether the user may want a more permanent installation and system to help control a problem. A more permanent installation and system. So they actually sell even more advanced directed energy systems. Now, there's ones that somebody can't just call in and buy them. There's ones that are hitting people like that, but that's quite eye-opening. If you've got some gang stalking neighbors that maybe aren't doing all the remote stuff, but they want to be involved, right? That makes me look back at that ex-Army neighbor and look at this stuff. And, you know, I was like, at one point I was like, he didn't do any of it. Like I was saying, he maybe did some gang stalking, but he didn't do any of the weapon stuff. But it was just like he would put toxins in my yard. It seemed like something was coming from his house. I saw the weapon on his shoulder. That makes me, and then like, I thought that for a certain amount of time, they didn't do any of it. And then I went back to like, he probably did do some of it. Right. I hate this stuff, guys. This is good information, and I will be putting this in the description. And people who don't believe us, if you're just here and you're like, hey, these crazy targeted individuals, you know, if you're not a cyber stalker, community, internet placed agent or whatever, look at this stuff. This stuff exists on just a community-based level. So imagine what the military-industrial complex has, and imagine 5G and HARP and the grid and everything DARPA's doing. If this can just be bought by any old Joe, any old Joe Blow, sorry, for like $150, like $150. Look at this ultrasonic pain field and sonic streaking shockwave emitter. Look at that. That's like what the front of the thing that my neighbor had looked like, but it was all black. Like it didn't have black circles. It was all black, right there. That's what it looked like. But it was like a shotgun with that at the front. That's what the thing at the front looked like. That thing right there, but all black. Okay, let me get something to drink. I said I was going to do that a while ago. Let me read some of y'all's chats. How long have we been going, guys? Like 2.5 hours? Bruce Atkins Jr. says neighbor's agent flew a drone over my house today. Yeah. Who are you talking about? Honey Badger says he's running for president as satire and wears a boot on his head and is going to save the economy by giving everyone a free pony, to name a few. It's all as a joke. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? That's funny. Vermin Supreme. So Honey Badger says, you guys ever heard of Vermin Supreme? No, but that's hilarious, man. Wayne Moore says the Ninja Turtle rat. Yeah, what was that guy's name? I had the toy. I had that toy. It was like King Rat or Vermin. It was Vermin, right? Yeah, that's what you're saying. King Vermin? Was it King Vermin? I used to have all the ninja. No, Wayne Moore says no, that was Splinter. Oh yeah, yeah. But there was like this other. There was like a bad guy that fought the Ninja Turtles, and I think his name was King Vermin, actually. So you're actually right. There was like a bad guy on Ninja Turtles, and he was like wrapped up in like dirty rags and stuff like that. I had all those toys. I had a little like all the Ninja Turtle toys, like Kang and man, I can't believe I remember that. Wow. I can never remember anything like lately, but lately because of like all the defenses, the ZVS driver, and certain things I've been doing. One thing I've been cutting down on the lorazepam, and I want to tell you guys just real quick because we're gonna keep going with this. People that are using kratom, be careful if you're using like lorazepam with that. Be very careful. Like so, certain things I was doing worked very short term, but as I used them for like 3 years and kept doing it, and I didn't even really like use it too much, right? I just kept using it every day at the same level. It started to have this like bad cycle thing. But be careful if you're taking kratom to reduce pain. Be careful mixing it with prescription medications. And I was just taking like zero point 0.5 milligrams of lorazepam, but I've stopped. I've slowed down lorazepam lately, and I've been remembering things from my childhood, like that Ninja Turtles thing. I had this box and like had Splinter and all the Ninja Turtles and Kang and I think it was King Vermin. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, Odin says Walmarts and the courthouses are the busiest businesses in America. Sad place to raise kids. Yeah, it's really things are getting really bad. Like, and people are not thinking right, and they're being taught the wrong things. They're being taught how to think the wrong ways. Um, Tanya says they will be next, Kyle. Perps. Yeah, dude. We're not saying anything if we're saying anything at all. We're just getting ideas in my head here. I don't know. I wouldn't want to make a mistake and hit somebody that's not a gang stalker. You know? Jeff O says Cheryl Meigs B is back. Is she doing a live stream right now, Jeff? I watched that. I watched her video where she explained what happened. And that really sucks. I was very worried about that. I was worried because she was helping us and doing all the videos at the rallies. I was very, very worried that she would get hit. I was just praying that it wouldn't happen. But it seems like it hopefully it's just that one time thing, you know. Hopefully it's just that one time because I had a friend and I was worried about her getting targeted. And when she was around me, she would get hit in the chest. But I don't think they started targeting her like 24 hours a day. So I'm hoping that with me, they just hit her once. Hey, Rev311 Micron. Rev311 Micron says sometimes it seems like they buy out all the property around you and replace your neighbors with gang stalkers. Yeah, yeah, you'll have people move in around your neighborhood. People move out. They'll like buy up the property. They'll pay out people. They'll pay people out who don't want to participate. They may approach them and they may not want to participate, so they'll buy them out and then they'll send in people. You're exactly right. And in that house and that sounds crazy. Well, everything we're talking about sounds crazy, right? To people who haven't experienced this. But in that house that burned down, I noticed that a whole lot. Like the house across the street, it had a bunch of new and a lot of couples would move in, and it's like they moved where the targeting was. Some people make their living off of like gang stalking people, of moving into neighborhoods and doing this, working with DHS fusion centers and InfraGard. They make their living off of it. Now, some low-level gang starters, I think it's like a supplemental income, right? But some people like make their freaking living off of this. I'm pretty sure of it, obviously, and also probably doing a lot of this stuff with the ground weapons. We need more concrete data on the exact protocols, but it's hard because there's no oversight with this torture and this experimentation. And sometimes it's like, I think they're like the top up pyramid is collecting data on it, but these people doing it are just kind of doing it. Well, my attackers are doing some pretty sophisticated psychological stuff. So I don't know, but it's hard to know. Yeah, and some of y'all's attackers are also doing some pretty sophisticated psychological behavioral conditioning, trauma-based mind control. But some of these neighbors might not even know about that, maybe hitting people with ground weapons and stuff, not understanding the extent of the psychological experimentation, right? Different level of understanding. And that's how everything's being set up in our society by evil. I think I'm just starting to figure out that good is also like that, that they're like up to God. It's like a pyramid of understanding kind of. But with good, it's like you can be promoted way further faster. It's weird. It's like you can get a much bigger understanding. It just good works different than evil. And my nature is to be good, and I can never be bad. I can never be bad or do, I make mistakes and stuff. I think some people hear me say that and they think that I'm saying I'm perfect and I sound self-righteous. My nature is to try and be good and help people, but I make a lot of mistakes. Um, but it's like, get into that. If that's your nature, don't fight it. Don't fight that and say, I've got to, because I've said, how do I survive this? Everything's too crazy for me to save the world. So what do I do with that? Do I just help my family and just be kind of selfish and get a job? Those things have run through my mind, like Data in First Contact. He says it ran through my mind for like 0.01 seconds. But to an android, that's an eternity. So it doesn't run through my mind all the time, but I do have flashes of that where it's like, should I maybe, it looks like everything's going to pot. I need to help my family and stuff like that. But I couldn't live with myself. So if you're a good person, try not to fight your nature. Try and place it in this world. Try and find a place for it in this world. Balance it with what you need to do, but you can't turn your back on it because it's going to hurt you. You can't live with yourself, And I think that it's something we're all going to have to struggle with this targeting and with how bad things are getting in the world and how much weight is on us as an individual and our families and stuff like that. It's something we're all going to have to struggle with. But I think people with a really good nature are going to have to find a way to really help your family and help yourself, and also, do good in the world. You won't be able to live with yourself, and it's just gonna enrich you to do these things, right? There are some people that just yeah. Well, let's get on to this, but that's just something we all have to deal with. Hey, Drunken Ninja, man, how you doing? Shred, King Vermin. Yeah, Jared Ritter says I'm right. Okay, yeah, Jared Ritter says, yeah, King Vermin. I knew, man. How do I remember that? That's good. I'm feeling better. After stopping, like for a while, I felt worse getting off the lorazepam. Hey, Barefoot's in the chat. What's up? Jared Ritter says, Kyle, you're doing everything right. God is with you. We all make mistakes, but God's people we are. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a complicated situation. I never, like, I mean, we're all probably hard on ourselves because we want to help people. We want to help people and fix this and, fix our lives and stuff like that. But, I look at this stuff and I'm like, for what I'm going through and what you guys are going through, we're doing awesome. We're heroes, right? I mean, we're legends, like, to go through this. We look, and in this inverted world, right, what we're going through, the hardships that targeted individuals are going through, it's like the world sees us as crazy, selfish people, but with what we're dealing with, we're doing really, really good. We're doing really good. And that's the nature of the world right now. The nature of the world is deceitful leaders, just the people with power have taken control, and they want to turn everything bad, and they want to make people scared so people will do more evil, and then they can use that to control the population in this cycle. So some of the people who are actually really good people carrying a lot of weight, they're not going to get, we're not going to get ticker tape parades probably. But maybe in the next life, or in certain ways, we'll be balanced and vindicated by God, right? By God. We're always vindicated by God. And you can check with God if you're feeling like kind of low confidence or feeling like you're not doing good enough, or you need to check with God on how you're doing, right? But I appreciate that, man. Jennifer Burns says, this is the hardest thing anyone would ever have to go through. I agree completely. I think it's the hardest thing that any human being has ever had to go through in the history of mankind. Because it's like, you know, people have been murdered, right? People are murdered all the time, but that seems very merciful. You know, we have to like be like our brains are changed and everything like that, and then we have to still keep walking around. But that's why we got to use practical defenses and stuff like that, so that we can actually have some victory and peace in this, be able to enjoy life to a certain extent. I think it is necessary, guys. You know, I don't know everything, but I think we're in for, and before I say this, I want to say, I hope this ends tomorrow, right? I hope and God creates miracles. I don't know what God's plan is. I hope this ends tomorrow, but my feeling is that we're in for a long-term battle. And that's why I try and give you all defenses. Because the thing I was going to say about like infiltrators earlier, I don't think there's 80 to 90% infiltrators in our group, because I don't think they're that worried about us getting the word out. So it's a negative thing, but it's something that I see. I don't think these people that are doing this are that worried about us getting this out yet. So we may have like 5%, 10% infiltrators. There's miracles that are happening. We're doing great stuff, right? But if you understand the level of like information and how information flows throughout the population, you know, the Ella Free doing all those really awesome things. Her YouTube channel has like 6,000 people, 6,000 subscribers. And at the rally, there's like 250 people or something like that. The big guys, the big evil guys, the military industrial complex, and those people at the top of the pyramid, they're not that concerned about that. I hope I'm wrong on that. That's just a thought. I could be wrong, but I'm just seeing that it's just like, my attackers let me do these videos. Like, trust me, if they wanted to stop me, they could stop me. They like freeze things up, and they've cut off live streams and stuff like that to show me that they can do it, but they don't care. They don't care. And they've told me like, they've said, you can tell everybody exactly what's going on and you're getting a lot of stuff right, but we don't care. Like, they're like, if you get stuff right, people are especially not going to listen to you. And that kind of like got me. I was like thrown back. They were like, you can get everything right, and then people are really not going to listen to you. And that means not that smart people won't get it right. A lot of you guys are very smart targeted individuals that watch my channel, but the big percentage of people, right? They're kind of looking into things, and they're not thinking clearly. So correct information, because it's all being messed up, it doesn't really get out. People they don't care, you know? That's a negative. I'm being negative. I'm going to stop that. That's a negative thing. We are doing good. They are afraid of us. They are afraid of us. That's just, sometimes I get that feeling that they're not that concerned. That could be a psyop to me. It could be a psyop in my situation. So let's not say that. Let's not say that. Let me take a step back on that one. Yeah, Odin said, I planned my life and they destroyed it. So, but man, our life's not destroyed. And hey, what's up, Slack TI, man? They haven't destroyed our lives, guys. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. There are so many miracles that God has planned. We just got to reach for them. We can have victory in our lives. Start using some of these defensive things. You'll feel better too. I guess I should, man, I got it. That's another angle of why I kind of want to stop doing videos, because I kind of just say what comes to my mind, and I'm very conflicted about certain things. My logical brain is seeing certain things, and then my heart is seeing things another way. And that's another reason I feel very tangled up. Some of those things that I'm saying, like I hear that from my attackers, and I do see that sometimes, that they're not very concerned. Like, I mean, they know I'm putting out the right kind of information. They try and hurt me to kind of shut me up. But if this was like, if I was getting out to like 60,000 people, like if I was getting 60,000 of video watching this stuff, then they would just shut it down. They'd just take me off of YouTube and be done with me. No, they would. No, they wouldn't. That's negative. I'm gonna stop being negative tonight, guys. Okay. Okay, so the ultrasonic pain field and sonic street, and I've got something at the end. I already showed it to Honey Badger and Corey the other night, like I think a week ago or something like that. It really got me pumped up. You know, and sometimes when I'm talking about those negative things, it's just how evil sees things, and it's not really what God can do. So it doesn't even matter, really. It doesn't matter what those in society who are carrying out these things think they're doing, or think that they're accomplishing, or think that there's really no danger of it stopping, of it being stopped. That those things don't even matter, right? So it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just evil is very egotistical. That's the bottom line of that. So this one, ultrasonic pain field and sonic shrieking shockwave emitter, PSP60 is an enhanced PPP10 design with more output power, and also has a jack to plug in an adapter for running on wall power. Slightly larger dimensions at 8 inches by 7 inches by 11 inches with a front plate of about 7 inches by 5 inches by 1.25 inches. Ultrasound protective deterrents are non-lethal and highly effective at preventing unwanted encounters. So let's check out the other ones. I might not read the descriptions and everything because I'm going to put these in the description. PCC 30RC-HP10. The guy on my V2K was just like, we have to stop him. We have to. And then the woman goes, help him. We need to help him. Turn it off. And then he goes, are you serious? Are you for real? Because he's talking to the woman. Like he's talking to the woman going, are you for real? So PCC 30RC-HP10 and PPF 40RC-HP10 third generation high-powered ultrasound pain field generator series. Look at those things. These high-powered devices create directional ultrasonic pain fields and sonic shrieking shock waves, excellent at preventing unwanted human encounters and dangerous home intrusion. I kind of wonder if they're putting some of these things up above me in that that apartment, that condo above me, because there's people that come in there occasionally. Like my attackers will do V2K stuff. Looking at this stuff, it makes me kind of wonder. I mean, I know I'm being hit remotely, you know, by more sophisticated systems, but I just wonder if these things are being used supplementally in my case, and they've just hidden it from me. They just psyop me to where I think it's all remote. Okay, so similar low power devices licensed under a different trade name are used in the UK to break up groups of unruly people in prison riots. What does it emit? Is shockwave, sonic, shrieking shock, ultrasonic pain fields. These devices can be set up as permanent installations or easily moved around and placed in different remote locations, and then controlled by radio control key fob. They are lightweight and easily adapted to being hand carried. Can be put into places and then triggered remotely. That really makes me wonder about because the sheriff's department owns the condo above me. Like the sheriff department literally owns the condo above me, and I hear people coming in there every so often. And I know I'm being hit remotely by, you know, more sophisticated integrated directed energy weapon systems, but like I don't know if like this guy or up here, man, and my attackers are going to use that. They're gonna do the remote stuff and really mess with me tonight. Okay, so, and this is PPG 300RC-HP10 third generation ultrasonics, radio controlled with special issue higher output transducers for home protection. Transducers, right there. Third generation ultrasonics, radio control with special issue higher output transducers for home protection. the above system for a vehicle, Generation 3 ultrasound pain field generator system with remote control for automobile protection with special issue high power transducers. Ultrasonic blaster for scientific research. Ultrasonic blaster for sonic shockwaves blow holes in metals. Ultrasonic generator, ultrasonic oscillator. Is that it? High power 125 watt circuit for cleaning, welding, soldering, and cutting. I would guarantee you a lot of these devices are used supplementally by gang stalkers around this. Maybe some targets. Yeah, I was saying, you know, I think a lot of these things are used supplementally. I'll get the person that texts me. I'll text you back later. All right, guys, I'm getting kind of tired. I got something for the way out. Honey Badger says a lot of the people who other TIs think are infiltrators are really targeted. They are just a money sign holes to people and make people think they're perp. And I think it gets so just confusing. It's just a tar baby. You know, it's like society or the system is trying to make things so confusing. Oh, I'm way behind in the chats. Hey, what's up, Brian? Brian 2 says, it is remote. The RNM system illumines the brain of the victim with a stream of electromagnetic low frequency waves, photons, and then reads the returning train signal. I think you're right, Brian, that is a part of it, but there are other layers. It's just a complicated, complex thing where, you know, in certain situations there are ground weapons involved, but with the remote attacks, it's not just a bidirectional stream of photonic energy going straight to the brain. There are other layers. There are external attacks. There are electromagnetic fields created and conducting along the skin to the inner ear. There's electromagnetic transcranial stimulation that goes down to the inner ear. So it's not as simple as just saying bidirectional stream of photonic energy straight to the brain. It's not that simple. I wish it was, and like it makes it kind of more complicated when you try and talk about other layers of it. But it needs to be done. We need to talk about these things. But I agree with you. I agree with you that is definitely the big thing. That's the big thing about the remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation. What you're saying is the biggest problem, I think, you know, is the biggest problem. But I think that I get hit externally. I get hit externally in my stomach. I get hit externally. And I think what they'll do is they collect that EEG for me because I've been being hit for so long and they've been externally hitting me. They record that EEG through remote neural monitoring. And then sometimes they will push that back through remote neural manipulation to make me feel like I'm getting an external hit. There's a couple of different layers to the way that they're targeting people. There's scalar waves, Lilly waves, photonic energy, 7G is coming out, guys. I've got a video that I really want to just mirror on my channel. It's talking about 6G and 7G. You know, there's just different layers to this stuff. And so, you know, I'm telling you, my ex-military neighbor, he had a ground weapon in his window that he wanted me to see, that he was hitting me with. I think it was supplemental, but they wanted me to think that he was doing everything else. So I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you completely, Brian, but it's more layers than that. It's more angles than that. So it's like you're saying, you know, it's a stream of photonic energy, return signal and a signal to the brain. And then somebody else is saying, hey, my neighbor's hit me with a ground weapon for some of it. Y'all are both right. You know, we've got to get some more concrete evidence. We've got to talk about things. We've got to look at things like this. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. These weapons exist. People that are lower down. What I'm telling everybody how everything works in the world. This is how it's a spider web in a pyramid. That's how everything in the system works. So if we can understand that, then you can start looking at it. And I'm telling y'all, that's how things work. But I agree with you, Brian. Definitely do. Lion and Lamb says, Preston, I've heard so many testimonies of the Lord working with atheists and Satanists. The Lord is merciful. He won't let one that is his slip out of his hands. Definitely. Definitely. You can always change. It's never too late to change. If you feel like you're doing something, I was watching something, we have a fundamental nature, and you can't stand to like be I'm selfish. Like I'm a selfish person sometimes, but you got to do things a certain way. You kind of want to embrace that nature and try and use it in your life. Like even people, Honey Badger says, they are legal because our Congress hasn't issued any regulations in the area of directed energy because it's a cat they can't afford to let out of the bag. Yeah, there's a directed energy caucus. There's senators and representatives that fund directed energy weapon experimentation in the DoD, in the NSA, in the CIA. They give funding to it. Are they told that humans are being experimented on? I don't think so, but I think that funding that Congress gives, that directed energy weapon, the directed energy caucus, goes into funding some of the human experimentation. Now, there's also a lot of other places, a lot of other areas where the money comes from that the Pentagon gets money. Selling drugs, the opium fields in Afghanistan and things like that. Also taxes and what else? I mean, there's so many different. They can print money out. They can print money out to do this stuff. Different ways that I don't even know about. That they create, black budgets and things like that. Honey Badger says Brian 2 Legend is here. Yeah, I love Brian. I hope you're doing okay, Brian. I need to go watch some of your latest videos. That's not true, Preston. Don't say those things. God created everyone. Everyone is a child of God. Everyone, every form of life is a child of God. There's nobody who's damned by what their genetics or anything. No one. It's a false belief. I will just say 100% I disagree with that. And anybody who wants to say like, well, this group of people, they're Satan's children, or this group of people, they're because they're genetic. No. You can always decide. You can always get closer to God. Honey Badger says we should watch that Vermin Supreme video. Nah, I got something. I'm gonna play. I'll maybe play it on the next live stream about Honey Badger. Well, guess why not? Vermin. Which one? I have this like I guess I could pull it up here. Yeah, we can watch. Is it long, Badger? Is it long? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Tanya says, yes, Kyle, you're right. They're doing so many weapons on TIs. Yeah, there's different layers of everything. If something this complicated, there's just different layers to it. But Brian is correct. He's correct about what he's saying. But the problem is there's even past photonic energy, they're coming out with 7G, and it is a certain type of light energy that can interact with human DNA. And so some of us they're starting to integrate different things into these weapon systems. They're advancing them and evolving the weapon systems. At first, it was just like electromagnetic fields, microwaves, and they're like using scalar waves and things like that. But he's right. It is photonic energy. It is light energy that illumines the brain. That is one layer. That is one layer of the target, because they can do some of the remote neural manipulation through electromagnetic pulses to the inner ear that creates a biorelevant feedback loop to the brain and the nervous system, which can do some of the remote neural manipulation. So it's not just a bidirectional stream of photonic energy to the brain. Some people, I mean, like Brian says it, like he says it very commanding, like it's right. I think it's an angle of it. And that's how a lot of people are speaking in society. People speak with certainties, and that's what people want because they're fearful. And I'm not saying Brian's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying things are complicated, and we can bottom line things. But on my channel, it's not about. I want to explore things about what could be going on, so that it can get smart people like you guys in chat thinking about it when you're being attacked, right? It can get you thinking about like, oh, this angle or this angle, you know, where maybe I'm missing something. So I'm just not going to come out and be like, it's this. Boom. Everybody shut up. You're all wrong. You know, and I'm not saying Brian does that. I'm not saying I love Brian. I love Brian. I'm not saying that. I want to spark something in you guys and talk about this stuff in a realistic way. And I'm probably going to be on some things. I'm going to be like, well, I'm not real sure about that. But on this, like, I'm sure about the inner ear, about frequencies to the inner ear, and that creating a biorelevant feedback loop to your brain and your nervous system. I'm 100% sure on that. 100% sure on electromagnetic transcranial stimulation being one of the layers. And I'm 100% sure about the bidirectional streams of energy, but I'm not sure it's always photonic energy. There are different contractors doing different things with different kinds of directed energy. So one person may be getting a bidirectional stream of ultrasound, infrasound. One person may be getting a bidirectional stream of scalar waves to their brain because they're trying different things and how the brain reacts to it. And then one person may be getting a bidirectional stream of photons. They're experimenting with all types of directed energy weapons, guys, and directed energy. I do agree with bidirectional stream. There has to be a stream of energy going to the brain and a stream of energy going back, right? And maybe it is all bidirectional stream of photonic energy to the brain. But we've got to look at the possibility because we don't have the concrete data, the documents that say, this is what we're using in this program. So we have to explore things. And I'm not shooting out any misinformation or anything like that. You know, we've got to look at certain possibilities. There's all kinds of different frequency bands, and even there's differences in Lilly waves, scalar waves, photonic energy. There's many scales to this directed energy. You can create fields with it. You can create a beam with it. You can create some, you know, it's many layers. My attackers are getting very upset. The woman's like, she goes, baby, because she's talking to the guy, and the guy's like, I have to do this. He's getting very angry because I'm making a lot of sense. He's getting very angry. Good, guys. I think it's the reason this is really what I think about our attackers. My attackers get angry when I look good or I'm making sense because they look bad to their peers. They look like they're not handling their target. And in that, you have this lever within the system that makes it so that people who are giving out good information are going to get taken care of, right? So it's not the top of the pyramid going, ooh, we can see that person and they're putting out good information. There's this built-in lever within the system where our attackers feel like if they're not handling their target, they look bad, you know. They are, I mean, they're messing me up. They're messing me up. My face gonna keep me going. So I wonder, and somebody the other day was saying like, they were like, why are you spending so much time reading Brian Two's comments? Like, we need it. But Brian Two says very important things. He has very, very important information. Just great information. I think that sometimes, you know, sometimes it's just like the chat thing. Like, not everybody's a chat bot in my chat, but I do agree with him on the premise, right? That there are some chatterbots, there are some you know, infiltrators and stuff like that. So he has really good information. So Brian Two says they are targeting your cerebral cortex, manipulating the sensory and neural pathways of your brain and central nervous system, and are therefore able to manipulate, damage, and destroy any part of anatomy. Yeah, but Brian, what about the inner ear, frequencies to the inner ear in a cycle? Drunken Ninja says eyeball. I guess that's like looking at something. Like that. Ella Advocate says, our Panza is not protecting Australians by not regulating the correct amount of radiation without harming people. What's our Panza? What's that? Is that like the FCC to you guys or something? Ty McCulloch says they killed the best of that generation off with cancer. Lion and Lamb says, Preston, you are still breathing. Repent and speak to the Lord. He even says to fast and pray and mourn. Turn to him with your whole heart, and he will forgive evil that has been done. Don't let Satan. Oh, 5 minutes? Okay, yeah, I'll play it. I've got to find it. Can you put it in the chat again? Can you put it in the chat again, Honey Badger? Jared Reuter says, I just subbed to Brian 2. Yeah, I would recommend. I would tell people to sub to Brian 2's channel. But you've got to realize we're all going through remote neural manipulation. I think Brian's premises about this are very, very important. I just think that sometimes maybe all of us can go a little bit too far, just like with the gang stalking, where you start to see everybody's a gang stalker and stuff like that. So you just want to take all information and be very careful with it. But his premises are very scientifically sound. They're very, very scientifically sound. We just disagree on stuff. You know, we disagree on stuff like the defenses. Like I've gotten a lot of reduction of the pain and everything, and it's proven. It's just it's happening. But some of these things, like Dave Case of CD, he says, no way is that gonna, but it does. Like it has. It just experimenting with it does. You know, so we just have disagreements on certain things. But his information is extremely important about memory management, memory management, how it's done, how this is done, who's doing it. The DIA is definitely involved. CIA is definitely involved. Contractors under them. It's just, I think the thing is, you really can't whittle this down to like, it's this, boom. Because it's such a huge thing. It's such a global thing. And there's all these agencies involved, and there's all these gang stalking agencies involved. And it's hard for one person to go, this is all you need to know. And that's what the top of the pyramid is using, because individual creative people, we want a worldview, and we get the worldview, but they're not doing that. The evil people are taking all these compartmentalized little agencies and everything, and then they're going to work, right? But we're not good at that. We're just not good at that. Like people like us who are very individualistic and stuff like that, and especially when they're making us all very paranoid of each other, we're not good at working together. We're not good at compartmentalizing things. I mean, we need to get good at it. Some people are good at it. Some target individuals are good at it. I don't want to say anything. Oh, that's fine, Cheryl. Cheryl says Jeff left Kyle for Meeks, so that's totally fine. Yeah, go check out Meeks. She does great work. She's helped. No, I love Meeks. Let me watch this. Let's watch this thing that Badger sent. Jared Bruder says, take the good, leave the rest. Definitely, brother. Definitely, man. It's gonna get you far if you do that. Yeah, take the good, leave the rest. Strong-minded individual says, I watch the Twoster as well, but don't let him be your only source for knowledge about what we are going through. Yeah, that is definitely true, strong-minded individual. Definitely. Yeah, strong-minded individual says Meigs is live. I think so. Yeah, you guys, if you guys like Meigs, don't feel like you're abandoning me. I'm just gonna yeah, I'm just gonna play this I don't know why I'm reading my text. Let me open up my. Wait, where? Oh. I'm definitely getting tired. Okay, let's play this. Let's play this thing. Oh, Nappy Headed Roots is doing a live stream. How's he doing? I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't been. Oh, guys, where's Future Knowledge? Who is friends with Future Knowledge? Please get in touch with him and tell him to email me. Because like I think that he's just trying to uh-oh. Okay, let me share my screen and we'll watch this. If anybody's friend like talks with Future Knowledge regularly, can y'all please tell him to email me at vulcanwolverine@gmail.com, I think Future Knowledge took his channel down. He may have just wanted to get some space from all this, but I'm kind of worried. Like, I'm kind of worried about him. Does anybody know? Oh, Odin, that's really smart. Odin says the highest recorded vibrational frequencies are Jesus, Gandhi, and Bruce Lee. All short men into the shared experience, not this learn your own lesson game society. Yeah. Well, Bruce Lee and Gandhi and Jesus were very creative. They were all new, right? And they were all very new to the world. And I think that's what we're having trouble with in the world right now. With the good side, good is kind of blasphemous. I mean, new is kind of blasphemous, right? And Jesus, Gandhi, and Bruce Lee were all very new. Like, they were completely different. They did things a different way, and people love those things. But now we're in a society where things are kind of dogmatic and they're already worked out, and people got books to learn how to do this and to do that. Like, I'm not saying books are bad, right? Books are good, read. But just everything is like, oh, we think we already know everything, but we're gonna have to evolve. Everything evolves, right? And that's the only way we can get anywhere. And I feel sort of blasphemous sometimes with the way that I want to evolve to defeat this impossible targeting. I feel like sometimes Christians are going to get kind of upset at me because I'm not talking about God and exactly the way the Bible talks about it. Jesus didn't talk about the God in the way that the Old Testament talked about it. Gandhi didn't talk about anything the way that people had thought about it before. That's a very important thing. And I haven't, that's very important. Being new, things that are new can create great things. And I sometimes feel like I am being blasphemous, or people are going to get mad at me if I don't say things exactly the right way that they're thinking, especially in this culture of social media. It's like, I'm not scared about what people think about me, but my priority is helping people with the targeting, right? And helping them to get defenses. So something social media stunts. It just stunts. It's not like a being afraid of this or that. It stunts things, even subconsciously. Our targeting stunts things subconsciously. I don't think we should be afraid of change. Not the change that society wants, the change that God wants for us, right? Change in us, in everything, in how we see everything. How we see everything. Stay good, right? Stay good. Stay true to your nature. Stay true to your faith. But evolution is the way that everything has gone since the dawn of man and before, and way before. I think that's a bad thing that Christians don't believe in evolution. I think that's stagnant. It's stagnant and nothing in life. So how can we look at the way that life works and think that God is somehow stagnant and just gave us one stagnant thing or this stagnant thing? Everything changes, and the people that change the world are totally different. See, man, I don't want to come on and do this on videos. I know I'm going to get a lot of thumbs down for that, probably. And it's not like I do things based on thumbs up or thumbs down. It's just like I don't know, I got a lot of stuff to work through. And it's good. It's all good. That's a very important point, though. What Odin just said. I'll go ahead and say it, and I'm not talking about all Christians. I think, oh man, how can I pull this? Oh, I gotta go to my other thing. Hold on, guys. I do think sometimes that some Christians are too dogmatic. Really do, guys. I'll just admit that to y'all. I don't know if I'm talking about anybody in chat.
Opening 2 minutes to Mr. Vermin Supreme. Thank you. Gingivitis has been eroding the gum line.
Hey, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Long enough. It must be stopped.
Is that just a joke? Here, let me look it up on my thing and pull it up. We'll watch this. Oh, that's hilarious. Wow, he went viral on that one, huh? We'll watch like a minute of it, and then I want to play something on the way out. Like, I want to play a video for y'all to inspire you on the way out. Yeah, my attackers are slowing down my computer a lot. No, let me get something to drink here. Yeah, Honey Badger says, yeah, this is political satire. Yes, it is a joke to expose politics. Yeah, Slack TI says, it's fine. I don't even believe in God. I'll take the head, brother. Yeah. You should. I think everybody start on the road to believing in something higher, because we're little human beings on this tiny little globe, but we are part of a bigger picture. We're part of creation, and there's something. There's just a ladder of creation. There's a ladder of creation. There's something at the top of it. There's miraculous good things, especially in the darkest of times. And that says something about the existence of God. And that says something about the existence of God. I just really, even though your life's bad, for you guys who don't believe in God, it's illogical. Your belief that there's nothing and we're just here as human beings and there's nothing outside of us. I mean, it's illogical. Creation comes from somewhere. Everything comes from something. And my attackers have completely frozen up my Google Chrome. And I can pull it up on my other one, but I can't show that on the screen. I can pull it up on my other. I can't show anything that's not on Google Chrome on my yeah, my attacker is completely freezing on my computer. Oh, here we go. Nope, no. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Go to YouTube real quick. Everybody might just need, well, no, let's just play it real quick since we've started. Let's go ahead. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Oh, you got me thinking. You got me thinking tonight, man. Because you said there's three names right there. And I thought about what's the similar thing in all of them, and why they're legends is because they became something completely new.
2 minutes to Mr. Vermin Supreme. Thank you.
Yeah, my attackers are doing a ton of stuff to my computer right now. Hold on, guys. Yeah. Okay, so let me pull that up. Okay, so here's Vernon Supreme. When I'm president, everyone gets a free pony. We'll just play the whole thing.
2 minutes to Mr. Vermin Supreme. Thank you. Gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation long enough. It must be stopped. For too long, this country has been suffering a great moral and oral decay in spirit and incisors. As we cross into the 23rd century, let us bite the bullet and together make America a sea of shining smiles from sea to shiny sea. Now, friends, some people will tell you that this mandatory toothbrushing law is about the secret dental police kicking down your door at 3 a.m. to make sure you've brushed. Friends, it is not. Some will mention
my
the
attackers
dental
was freezing
re-education
everything
centers or the preventative dental maintenance.
Maybe his message is really
It's about
important.
none of these things. It's not about the government-issued toothpaste containing an addictive yet harmless substance. No, friends, it is not even about DNA gene splicing to create a race of winged monkeys to act as tooth fairies. Friends, what this mandatory toothbrushing law is really about is strong teeth for a strong America. My name is Vermin Supreme. I'm a friendly fascist. I'm a tyrant that you should trust, and you should let me run your life, because I do know what is best for you. Yes, I'm a politician. I will promise you anything your little electorate heart desires because you are my constituents. You are the informed voting public, and because I have no intention of keeping any promise that I make. Vote early, vote often. Remember, a vote for Vermin Supreme is a vote completely thrown away. I would like to take this moment to acknowledge my mother, who is in the audience here today. Please stand up, Mother. Please stand up. If you can stand up, please stand up. She's going to try and stand up so you can acknowledge her. This is my mother. There you go. And 5 years ago this April, I gave her a kidney. My challenge to you people, everybody on the stage and everybody in the audience, give up a kidney.
All right, thank you, Mr. Supreme.
Mr. Supreme, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Like some of the other candidates, including former Governor Romney, this is not your, shall we say, first rodeo.
Let us say that.
This is not the first time you have run for president in the
Correct.
New Hampshire primary. President Romney has been accused, and I'm not taking a position one way or the other, of taking different positions on different
Can y'all see
issues.
it?
I'm asking you right now, do you still stand by your pledge
Teeth
made
are
in
important, Drunken
2008
Ninja, yeah.
to provide a pony for
Drunken
every
Ninja says it is
American?
important message.
Yes, I
Teeth are
do,
important.
sir. Free ponies for all Americans, one of the overlooked issues in America today. My free pony platform.
You know how
is,
my
course,
thinking is so
jobs.
bad? My thinking is so paranoid right now about society. I'm like, this has to be some sort of like, let's see how people react to this. Let's see how many people are fed up with politics. And I mean, it's a lot of people, and just vote for this guy, because he's making fun. And it's actually like, because how would they allow that? Like, how would that be allowed in any election? Some guy wearing a boot on his head. They would be like, no, that's not proper or whatever. It just makes me think it's some kind of social experiment, Do y'all get that feeling? I guess I don't want to say everything like that. I don't know, but I get that feeling. I'm like, some kind of social experiment to see how people would react, to see how many people will vote for him. Might not be. Drunken Ninja says, does anyone know if Dr. Horton mainly has V2K? I don't think so. I think that her attackers put visuals in her head and stuff like that. I don't think she gets the audible V2K. Like, she doesn't get it where it's like her inner ear hears it. She gets the pain and the external hits, and I think maybe her attackers give her directed dreams and stuff, but I don't think she gets like 24 hours a day audible V2K. At least that's what I understand from her. I haven't heard from her in a while. Does anybody know where Dr. Horton is? I'm not like I talked to her one-on-one or anything, but I haven't heard from her channel. I don't know, Lion and the Lamb. Lion and the Lamb says, where's Dr. Horton? I don't know. Hey, Andrew. Okay, Andrew Fury says, anyway, how's everyone feel about what's going on in China with the quarantine? Yeah, that's awful, awful stuff. And Andrew, I wanted to tell you, like, I've looked back at one of my last videos, and you were trying to get my attention in chat, and you were like, do you even see me? And like, sometimes I just don't see the chat. So I just wanted to tell you that. It just comes to mind right now because I saw you in the chat and you were like, hey, does he even see me? And I didn't want you to feel like I was ignoring you or anything. I can't get to everybody's chats all the time. You said something like you were wondering if your attackers were not letting you show up in chat or something. So Dr. Horton's missing, future knowledge is missing. Hey, New Type says, thank you, Vulcan, and all in chat. We are experiencing firsthand the darkest plan conceived in memory while the rest of the world sleeps. We are chosen to observe and wake them. Know we are strong. Yeah, and that brings me to our last thing. Let's play the rest of this. I'm kind of interested. I don't know how they would let him do that. It's funny. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. I'm in such a state that it's like, I'm like, would they really let somebody
Creation program? It will create lots and lots of jobs once we switch over to a pony-based economy. We'll also lower our dependence on foreign oil. We'll also be able to turn all that pony poop into methane gas and wonderful compost. So we'll be able to up our soil that is being depleted by agrochemicals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, the important thing to realize is that it is a federal pony identification program where you will need your pony with you at all times. Thank you very much.
Gotta keep your
Mr.
pony with you
Supreme,
all
I wanted
times.
to follow up on Ambassador Shoemaker's question.
Yes.
regarding the ponies.
Yes.
Is that
Oh my
the
gosh.
only
right?
government entitlement program that you support? What other entitlement programs are you for?
Just that one. That's enough. But in the vein of energy production, I'd also like to address my harnessing the awesome power of zombies for energy sources. It's not just to run away from anymore. No, we have giant turbines that we're working on, and we will have lots of zombies, and we'll just sort of dangle brains in front of them, and then they will turn the giant turbines, creating energy to lessen the dependence on foreign oil in America here today. Thank you.
Yeah, Slack TI says it's catchwords. He's using all these, catchphrases.
My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. Vermin Supreme. My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. Vermin. Vermin Supreme. And you can vote. And you can vote. And you can vote for me for president if you want to. And my name is Vermin. And okay, thanks very much. Oh, one more thing. Jesus told me to make Randall Terry gay.
Oh my gosh, he's sprinkling stuff on him. That guy's not even reacting.
All right, he's turning gay. All right, okay.
He said he's turning gay. He turned that guy gay with the dust. Dude, that's hilarious. Vermin Supreme for president. How did they let that guy in there? How did they let that happen? Maybe they just couldn't stop him. It's like illegal for them to stop him from running or something like that. That's hilarious. Thanks for sharing that, Honey Badger. Slack TI says he's got more ideas than Trump. I don't know. I like Trump on some fronts. On some fronts, I think he's very dangerous for the country. Some things he's doing kind of help people. I think that I think everybody, all the presidents that get in are going to be controlled. They're going to be picked and controlled. They're not going to get in there unless they're in the club. Lion and Lynch says, Preston, the Lord even wants the wicked to repent and turn to him because he wishes for no one to perish. Yeah, you got to turn it around, guys. If you think you're in a position, but to God, you can always renew your life. To God, you can always be saved. We are all children of God. We are all children of God. Turn to God. Yeah, Andrew Fury says, thanks. My comments get blocked. Other people. I saw that. I was going back through the live stream and I saw you, and you were like, does he even see me? And I just I'll be reading comments and I won't, some of them I won't see, and then others I'll just kind of like pick them at random, right? But yeah, sorry about that, man. I hope you're doing well. Honey Badger says, Wayne Moore says, that's Kyle in 30 years. Hey, man, I think I'm getting better. I mean, I'm in pain. I'm going through this targeting. It's messed up my brain, the remote neural manipulation. In some ways, though, the balance, guys, with my faith, I mean, I objectively know there's a God. Like, I have objectively experienced this serendipity, like a higher force saying, look, I'm here. Like, I know that this is bad. Like, helping me out in these impossible situations, and almost like the nature of the universe, it really couldn't stop these things, but it could prepare me. I think that this is just the way the universe works. That this isn't God saying, I want you to go through this evil stuff. It's just the way that the universe and life work, is that people have freedom of choice, and that's just the way things work. But thanks a lot, Wayne. Toronto Dump. Okay, I'm gonna play us out, guys, with a video that really pumped me up. I sent it to my dad. I sent it to Honey Badger. I sent it to Corey. I sent it to a bunch of people because it pumped me up so much. And hopefully it can pump you guys up too. Jared River says Bernie Sanders is just part of the show. It's all WWE wrestling. Yeah, I think that whoever is going to get in is going to be picked by the higher ups. It's not going to just be random at all. Somebody random can't get in there. They're going to have to be willing to do. But I do think that there are a lot of groups, right? There's this spider web inside of a pyramid, and there's a lot of groups that are infighting, they all want the same thing, but they want to do it a different way, right? They want to move towards a one world order, but they want to do it a different way. And so they create these dividing systems, right? I think even some of the higher ups, they have differing views on how to get there, how to get to a one world order, and maybe that can be used to our advantage. Yeah, I think just put information out. If you're a targeted individual, this is our prime thing, right? I kind of get sad about that sometimes. I don't think that's going to be like that for me forever. I want to, experience other things in life, and I don't want to say, well, I'll wait. It's like when I was a kid, I was like, I'll wait till my Crohn's disease is over to do fun stuff, and then this, and I'll wait till the targeting's over and then live my life. I think I'm gonna, even if the targeting ends in a week, if the program's in a week, I still need to start living my life. And that's why the defenses are important, to tone down the pain and everything, guys, because we do have to live our life while balancing it with fighting this and things like that. And it's like a war all the time, 24 hours a day for decades and decades and decades with this. But I know that with certain defenses and the things that I'm doing, that I can neutralize it enough that I can enjoy things in life. I know that now. And so that's what, we all got to find that, right? We all got to find that balance. And I do, like, I kind of want to talk about some stuff that maybe a lot of targeted individuals would be like, hey, you're trying to discredit us because you're talking about this, you're talking about that. I'm not going to, I pull myself back for the videos. I know I'm representing, right? I don't want to represent a whole people. Like, I don't want to represent targeted individuals. We need enough targeted individuals speaking out, where one person with a YouTube channel isn't going to make or break how people see targeted individuals. If that's the case, then we don't have enough people speaking out, and we're not even close. If my 2,000 or 3,000 subscriber channel is like, if you guys are seeing it as like, oh, well, he's speaking for us, or anything, then we're not doing good enough. We need a lot more people speaking out. We can't hinge it on, a few targeted individuals. Somebody was saying Dr. Horton is Slack TI says Kevin Christian is a perfect example of how this program eats you alive. But he's really positive. He's really positive. And it's like, it's hard to, yeah, Slack TI says believing all false info. He's really positive, and I mean, he's kind of, it's electromagnetic frequency, but yeah, I think that maybe he, like, I don't think it's his neighbors doing it. And I don't think they're not running live streams. This isn't something like that. It's definitely experimentation and torture. It's a lot of money in this, but he's very positive, and he keeps going, and he makes tons of videos every day, and he gets the topic out there, right? So I give him thumbs up a lot on his videos. And that's, he's speaking out. So I think the thing is, if you're not satisfied as a targeted individual with the information that people are putting out, you got to find some way to get the information out you think is important, or give that information to somebody, like Lion and the Lamb sent me that email with that link. You got to try and find a way to give that information to somebody who is speaking out. Somebody said Dr. Horton's people can't find her. And then future knowledge is going to 2020 has been really, really, really messed up. Yeah, Andrew Fury says it's good to know that the V2K is not who it sounds like it is also. Yeah. Yeah, the people, it's like a man and a woman, but it's not their real voices. And they've switched it from the man and the woman. They'll sometimes use the ex-Army guy's wife's voice still, but it's very, very exaggerated. Like, it's like, don't hurt him and stuff like that. And it's almost like they're making fun of her a little bit. They probably want me to say that because they do it really exaggerated. Like, she's a scared woman, and she's like, don't hurt him, this is so evil and stuff like that. But then there's another woman who's like more put together and like, I can't do this anymore, very weird. And they'll kind of switch things up. Was it? Wayne Moore says, get busy, nerds. Nerd. Yeah, we got to figure this stuff out. I just think we need more concrete information. And we're only going to get that. I mean, we can just talk about it till then. We got to just talk about the subject. So there's pressure to get that concrete information. Yeah. Honey Badger says, yes, I agree, Kyle. Looks like they are really stepping up the attacks in 2020. It just, yeah, man. It seems like people are overwhelmed. It's been really, really, really bad for me. But the thing is, because of my faith and how God made me, it's going to make me stronger unless I die. That's the attitude you need to get. And I just spittled. As long as you're not dead, this is going to make you stronger, and you got to stick with it, you know. And also the practical shieldings first. If you're just like, if you're completely like not even able to think or do anything and you're completely immobilized, then you've got a priority. You got a priority. You need to get with God first. You need to really start praying, but then you need to start heading towards Dave Case's CD, grounding. These are simple things. These are two simple things that are very cheap. That's going to get you a little, that's going to give you a little bit of breathing room, and then start looking into some other things. You know, there's stuff that works, guys, and it doesn't fix everything, but it does work. Cheryl Lou says D2K, same voices the four, the others are random people. Yeah. Did a troll come in here, guys? Hey, nobody says makes you stronger until you die. Badass man. Yeah, that's, unless they kill me, I'm going to get stronger from this. I mean, even if I have brain injury and stuff, my dad has brain injury and he's stronger. He's told me things like when we're in a conversation and he doesn't even know the situation. Like, he knows what I'm talking about, but he doesn't know the specifics of the situation. And he's given me advice that I look back on, and it's just perfect. It's like he channels God. I mean, like not like he is God or something like that, but it's like he's so connected spiritually. And my mom is connected in a certain way too. She's more grounded. So I get that too. But they're both incredible people. They're just both incredible people. But you know, my dad having that brain injury, and he was supposed to die. And he let that thing make him stronger. And he's here to serve other people now. He's here to serve his family. And I just watched that. Like, other men they would have lost their faith. They would have said nothing mattered. We just don't, that side of my family, well, the other side of my family, both sides, we don't have it in us. It's somehow there's something. And I know that God put me here for a reason. I know that this is happening for a reason. I have no doubt, not one doubt, not ever. Bad times, yes. Do I want to be here? No. Do I get stressed out, anxious? Yes. All those things. Doubt that there's a reason why I'm alive and a reason why this happened to me. And I'm going to create that meaning. Sometimes in life, we have to create that meaning, right? That's what life's all about. I think people get hung up because they're like, my life was supposed to be like this. I was supposed to get this. I was created for this. You got to create your meaning, and you got to go along with the variables to create that meaning. That's the beauty of life. And you'll be surprised. We have to evolve. With this. There's no way that you can just be attacked by this stuff, hope to survive, like, because it's so impossible. You have to change. You have to evolve. You have to adapt. You need God to do that. You need a direction, right? And you may not know exactly the details of what you're going to do in the future, but you know the direction you're going in, right? And then you just get God to help you, and you stay in touch with him. It's not perfect for me. I don't want to say that, but I do, like, I want to say that I've never lost my faith without sounding like I'm boasting, because I get depressed about stuff and I get anxious about stuff. And it's like, this wasn't supposed to happen here, and this wasn't supposed to happen here. And, you know, this is bad, but I really, it was just instilled in me. But, you know, and that helped me out. It's like, okay, this is what I want you guys to do. Look at everything in your life and see if certain things, it was God preparing you for this. And I think that's what we talk about a lot. I look in my life, and there's a lot of things God puts in my path now that he's helping me. And it's just the nature of the universe that evil people have taken control of the system. They're doing this to us. There is a benevolent force all the way up to the supreme God. The supreme God that we can't even imagine what it is in our brain. We can just feel it. We can just feel it and get in touch with it. It's real. I mean, it's real. That's a positive thing. That's a positive thing that I can say on these videos, and it's not confusing at all. Because I don't have to understand it. We can talk about religion. We can talk about the Bible. We can talk about a lot of things, but that is an objective fact in my life. And that is what helps me to grow stronger from the stuff that should kill me. And I think we're all in different stages, right? I just feel, I don't know, you have a purpose. Life has a purpose. Sometimes creating that purpose is where the magic comes from. You see, you're dealing with something that this thing that we shouldn't have to be facing, right? And where you want it to go. You take those two things and you kind of mix them up, and then you create your purpose. God already knows it. God is timeless. He knows it. But the universe works in a certain way where you got to create it. You got to create it, right? All life's all about creation. What can we create out of this? Necessity is the mother of all invention. How necessary is it for us to survive? How necessary is it for us to get better, to not feel the suffering? Invent something, I'm no Iron Man, right? I can't invent like a suit. Maybe I can do some of that stuff, but I'm not great with that stuff. I have to buy things and work on things and stuff like that. I guess I'm not down on myself about that stuff, but I can create hope. What can you create? I can create hope for myself. I can create hope for you guys. What can you create? What can you make? Like, I'll get nerdy with you guys, right? In Iron Man 3, gets these like having anxiety attacks and stuff like that, and he has to do something like they kidnap Pepper or something like that, and the little kid, he's like, I just can't do this. He's like anxious and stuff like that, and the kid's like, you're an engineer, right? Why don't you build something? What are you good at building at? I'm not just talking about mechanically, right? We need to do these defenses and stuff, but what are you good at building at? What can you do? What can you create? And in burrowing, creating, you'll find your path. I know it's not as simple as that, guys, and it may seem like everything is hopeless, but nothing is ever hopeless. That canard of where there's life, there's hope. It's so, things are very, those sayings are around a long time, and a lot of people say them for a reason. Just trust me on that one. Yeah, Lion Lamp says they also hit you with signals so you can't sleep. You can see the signals when you close your eyes. Yeah, like it's like shooting stars, kind of. It's like not like that. It's like light rays, like, but it's actually the nerves in your eyes. I think it's like the nerves in your eyes having so much pressure on them. I guess it would be the frequencies. I get that a lot too. Okay, let's play it out with this. This is kind of long. Oh, wow. Okay, it's been 4 hours. I needed to get some stuff out, which I didn't want to talk about any of it. Yeah, Andrew Fury said, somebody has nice V2K. I got a nice woman. It's the good cop, bad cop for me. J. Ritter says, superhero shows are for making people believe that a single man will save everyone when it's God who is the only savior. Well, look at the Avengers, though. Avengers, a bunch of people. Everybody has a superhero movie, right? That's how I look at it. I don't look at anything like the Matrix, like I'm Neo and the One. I think that's a dangerous belief. I look at things like the Avengers. Like, I've got my movie, like I've got my Iron Man movie, but somebody else has their Captain America movie. We're all heroes. Like, everybody's got their own movie, right? Everybody's got their own life, but we're all special. We're all special to ourselves and our families and stuff like that. So I take superhero movies a little bit different than that. I see that some people could maybe take it in that vein. Like, I see it as good, though. I see it as evolution of good people are going to have to become stronger, and it's a metaphor. Those things are like Captain America, it's a super soldier. Iron Man, he gets hurt in a cave and he has to make a suit. And I see it as I see it as a good metaphorical message about what good people are going to have to do in this world. We can't necessarily get a super soldier serum or fly, or all of us can't make, super suits or whatever, but we have to carry a little bit more weight, right? So I just see it that way. I see it in a very grounded way. Like, certain people have thinking about things and they don't really understand how somebody takes that in. And they may say, oh, well, that's delusional. Like, somebody in the chat one time said, like, Superman's going to save us all or something. And I kind of was like, is that what people think that I think? I'm a very grounded person. But there's a grounding in, like, fantasy, imagination. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. Certain things, like Stan Lee came up with all those ideas, and maybe it came out of a collective conscious because we knew the hardships that were going to come up. Maybe a higher power gave him some of those thoughts to put out. And then Hollywood puts them out to maybe do one thing, but it does another. So not everything's controllable. There is no algorithm that control everything in life and higher up. We've got to really tap into those things. There's just not, these people at the top of the pyramid, they're being lied to by Satan. They're being lied to by Satan, and they think they can control the world and become gods. And it's just, life doesn't work that way. And somebody said it in chat the other day, and I really liked it. There's always a bigger fish. There's always a bigger fish. So the top of the pyramid is pretty strong and stuff like that. There's always a bigger fish, Let's play it out on this, guys. I'm getting tired. Jared Ritter says, good people will never have power to save in this evil world. But you do. You can put your ripple effects out. God, through you, can put ripple effects out. And when everybody's dying and going crazy and being tortured and everything, that's the time when you need to reduce people's suffering. So you may not be able to save the world or turn it in this huge direction, right? But we're thinking the wrong way. You got to produce your ripple effect. Produce your ripple effect. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You can't, nobody's Superman or anything like that. But God is way more powerful than Superman and can do anything he wants with this world. It's just, I think it's in a way that we don't expect. Sometimes, like, this evil stuff looks very evil. Yeah, it's just not in the way that we expect. But if we keep reaching towards faith, there's going to be a balance for us. And we're going to find our homeostasis. We're going to find our reason for being here, Let's play this. I really like this. It's pretty long, but we'll play it on the way out. And I love you guys. It's like a 12-minute thing, but I'm just going to play it anyway. I hope they won't take my video down for doing it. I think you guys should be able to hear it.
And the greatest temptations we face are the temptations to quit when the going gets tough somewhere in the middle. Because I'm speaking to people right now who are going through difficult times in difficult places. Our whole country's going through a difficult time. We listen to the news and we search the newspapers looking for some ray of hope. And yet somehow we keep hearing the same thing. Prices are going up, and people are out on strike, and people are losing jobs, and people are being laid off. And our nation is going through some difficult times politically and morally. And some of you are going through difficult times personally. When you come to church and you start shaking hands and greeting people, and you see a smile here, a smile there, you don't know what lies behind that smile. You haven't the slightest idea. You shook hands with someone today in Sunday school whose heart is broken. You talked to someone today before the service who's going through a tremendous battle. You know nothing about it. I know nothing about it. Each of us at some time in life comes to a difficult place at a difficult time. And the clouds begin to gather and the wind begins to blow and we wonder what's going to happen next. And it's at that point that Jesus says to us, now don't be afraid. I'm with you. The thing that carried the Apostle Paul through was his faith in Jesus Christ. God didn't make the situation easier. In fact, the situation got harder. But Jesus Christ saw Paul through, and he's going to see you through. I don't know what it is that you're battling today. I don't know what it is that you're carrying today. But I know this much, that when you put your faith in Jesus Christ and let him direct you, he's going to see you through.
What's keeping you up at night will not always last. What's keeping you up at night will not always last. Talk to yourself. I can't give up. I can't throw in the towel. I can't give in. God has not taken me this far to leave me right now. Yes, I'm going through a hard time, but this isn't the first time I've had to go through a hard time. Don't give up. Don't give in. Some of you are about to throw in the towel, but the truth is it won't get far, because God will throw that towel right back at you. God will always finish what he begins. Philippians 1:6, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Put your eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Never, never, never give up. You are instructed to be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not fear. For the Lord your God, he's the one that goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. With trouble all around you, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. While you are going through pain, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. When life gets too much to handle, when life gets too much to bear, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Hold on to the hand of God, because he promised you he would never leave you. In times of trouble, he'll be there. In good times, he'll be there. When your heart is broken, he will be there. When the world forgets you, he will be there. God has put fight inside you. God has put courage inside you. God has put strength inside you. Yes, life has knocked you down. Yes, you have been pushed against the wall. But as a child of God, it is your duty, it is your mandate to keep fighting. From the moment you gave your life to Christ and became a child of God by the new birth, you popped up on the radar of the enemy. And what you need to understand about the devil is that he has been fighting against the children of God for thousands of years. Thousands. From the day of Adam until this very moment, he has been doing everything he can to stop the plan of God in each and every believer's life.
Isn't this great?
And he
This guy's name is Edris.
the threat
I can't
you
remember
pose
his name.
against his kingdom. From the very moment you were born again, but you don't see it. Are you serious? Are you seriously going to tell me that the devil sees your potential, but you don't see the potential God has put inside you? You're telling me he sees it, and you don't. You're telling me he sees the one that is inside you, but you can't come to grips with the one who's inside you. Yet here you are walking around with a low self-esteem. No, that's not you, honey. Acting like you're a nobody when you're a child of the king. Walking around with a pessimistic view on life, with your head down, with my name is Jimmy, I'll take all you can give me attitude, with a low self-worth. No, 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 that's not you. Put your eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. He has invested the blood of Jesus in you. You're a child of the Most High God. You were created to be the head and not the tail, to flourish in ways in which are unique to you. For God has made you in his image. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the God who loved you so much that he sent his only begotten Son to save you has told you, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And whatever is keeping you up at night, There is nothing the enemy can throw powerful enough to stop you. You cannot be stopped. While you are going through pain, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. When life gets too much to handle, when life gets too much to bear, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Hold on to the fact that God is the stronghold in the day of trouble, and that he knows those who trust in him. He knows them who trust in him. Do you trust in God? Do you trust him? In the words of the old hymn, I've seen the lightning flashing, and I've heard the thunder roll. I've felt sinners, breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. I've heard the voice of Jesus telling me to fight on. He promised never to leave me alone. There's one line in that hymn I want you to focus on. I've heard the voice of Jesus telling me to fight on. In other words, don't give up. Never give up. Never give in. Because he promised me never to leave me alone. Hold on. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear nor be afraid. For the Lord your God, he's the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. God is faithful. God is faithful to his word. Numbers 23:19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said it, shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken it, shall he not make it good? If God said, I am with you, he is with you. Jesus is with you. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. When you have Jesus with you, you'll have serenity in the midst of the storm. You'll have calmness in the midst of crisis. You'll have encouragement in the midst of difficulty. You'll have endurance in the midst of adversity. You'll have assurance in the midst of affliction. You'll have strength in the midst of struggle. You'll have courage in the midst of the challenge. You'll have boldness in the midst of the battle. You'll have blessedness in the midst of burdens. You'll have courage in the midst of criticism. You'll have composure in the midst of calamity. You'll have security in the midst of sorrow. You'll have comfort in the midst of confusion. You'll have confidence in the midst of conflict. You'll have control in the midst of commotion. You'll have relief in the midst of pressure. You'll have inspiration in the midst of the impossible. You'll have refuge in the midst of danger. You'll have perseverance in the midst of the problem. You'll have support in the midst of the warfare. You'll have hope in the midst of the suffering. You'll have victory in the midst of the hardship. You'll have long suffering in the midst of the trial. Put your eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith.
I think Paul discovered that there are 5 different ways by which the Lord was with him. And the Apostle Paul is one of God's children, and we're God's children. And so what God did for Paul, he's going to do for us. How is the Lord Jesus Christ with us? Well, first of all, he is with us in his person. We can't see him. We can't always feel him. And I'm just a little bit leery of these people who depend upon their feelings.
Oh.
But he's there. You see, this is part of the agreement that he made. When he came and was born on this earth, he was given the name Emmanuel, God with us. And just before he went back to heaven, to make sure his followers would not forget it, he said, now all authority in heaven and on earth is given to me. Go ye therefore and disciple all nations, baptizing them, teaching them to observe whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. And someone has well said, that is not a promise, it's a fact. He didn't say, now, if, then. He said, while you are going, win people. And when you win them, baptize them. And after you've won them and baptized them, teach them. And lo, I am with you always. And this is what Paul was doing. Paul came to Corinth, verse 1. He won people to Christ. He baptized them. He taught them. And along came the Lord Jesus saying, Paul, I'm keeping this commitment. I'm with you. He's with us in his person. Now, I've noticed something in my Bible. Perhaps you've noticed it. That whenever the Apostle Paul got into a tight spot, the Lord reminded him, Paul, I'm with you. You see, at every juncture, when the Apostle Paul faced a problem, the Lord was with him in his person. Jesus was there. It's like those 3 Hebrew children back in the Old Testament, thrown into the fiery furnace, and they turn on the monitors outside and say, what's going on in there? 1, 2, 3. There are 4 in there, and one of them is like the Son of God. Why, of course. He promised, when you go through the waters, I'll be with you. When you go through the fires, I'm going to be with you, and you won't be burned. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right arm of my righteousness. The Lord Jesus is with you in his person. You can't always feel him, you can't always see him, but he's there. That was the promise that David Livingston claimed. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And Livingston said, these are the words of a gentleman, and he shall keep them.
All right, guys. So check out that channel, Lion of Judah. There's some other really good ones. Like if I get really down and, you know, I'm just like really depressed, really anxious. I just feel like I can't do anything. I go to those channels, Lion of Judah. I'll play some other ones probably like at the beginning of some of my videos, like some shorter ones, maybe higher. I'll give you guys the name of some other ones, but I really like that one. I watched it like, I think 10 times. It just really hit me. I like the way that the guy was just yelling over and over the things because they're so important. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. Be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Be creative. You know, God gave us a spirit of creativity too. Necessity is the mother of invention. I understand all these things are so evil that are happening to us. People are going nuts in the world and are doing really evil things. But that's not us. You know, we've got to find a way to be creative and get through this mess. We need God to do it. We need a higher power to do it. Be strong and courageous. Endure in faith, guys. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. I love y'all. Just be strong. Let's keep going. We're going to find many, many more solutions. Many, many more solutions, and good things are going to happen. Whatever happens with this world, whatever happens with this world, whatever big way the population moves or the system moves, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next.